Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Film Club. Only two at the moment. Jay is late. A lot of people have said late, so we started just a little bit without him. He'll turn up. This is his pick, so we're gonna actually wait for him for Catch Me If You Can. So we're gonna wait, but we can have a bit of entertainment in chat. Chats, you're making me laugh, so that's always good. And how is everybody? See Viper, AWOL, Highlander's there to say this is a terrible movie, and Highlander, you cannot prove that I'm not a wizard. But Sandy, how are you before we, wait for Jay?
I'm doing great, and I will make a disclaimer before Jay joins, is that I will try. Oh my goodness!
Look at that! Look at that!
His name
Bang, straight on there. Literally.
Maybe you are a wizard, James. Maybe you are a wizard.
There we go.
Jay, maybe you're one
Jay.
too.
Yeah, is my audio working?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, I wanted to make sure there's something.
Your timing could not have been more perfect.
Absolutely. 1 minute. I don't hear that very often. I'm an often late individual, unfortunately. So great compliment once in a while.
Jay is a wizard.
Yeah.
There we go.
Arrive exactly when I'm supposed to.
Exactly.
Sorry, before we go on that, I just noticed, Viper, how do you know about the gerbils? How do you know?
You would have had to be there, Viper.
I'm going to have to ask Viper, how do you know?
Just saying.
But yeah, sorry, Jay, before we go, I was asking Sandy how she is, and then how are you? So let's
good. Good. Just, enjoying a Saturday, ready to talk a movie that I love and have some fun.
Yes, indeed. Sandy.
This is also a movie that my kids like. So it was a good watch. I had seen it before, and then I read the book.
So is this the disclaimer? Because you said before.
Here comes the disclaimer.
Okay.
I will. You know how I try not to say, well, in the book, da 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 da. Well, here I'm going to be saying two different things. I'm going to be saying, well, in the book it's different, and the real story may be significantly different than both the book and the film. And it was quite a challenge to try to balance all three: the real account, the book, and the film. Because what we have here, as you can imagine, is a very unreliable narrator. This is the textbook version of an unreliable narrator, obviously, because he's a con man. So we'll hear all about that as we go.
Yeah, I've not read the book. I must say, I like Jay. I was like, maybe it's a biography, but I didn't realize there was a book about this kind of thing. And then I dived into. I was like, let's fight. I was like, he must be dead. He's not dead. Yeah. So he's still alive. And then I went down that rabbit hole of the truth versus reality.
And I have gone down that rabbit hole before to figure out, what was embellished, what was this. And I feel like I don't remember any of the actual narrative or the actual, well, I guess, we'll have to say narrative because, I guess there's some facts to it, given the law and all that involvement. Right. So there are some facts in some version of the truth. But I remember reading and looking into the actual story and feeling a little disappointed how much I felt like, if I recall, the movie embellished, but I don't remember. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where in one way, I like where the movie embellished because I think it made it a more interesting story and a fun movie. But I was disappointed when I was like, oh, I guess you kind of just view the character or the real person it's based on differently. Like, not as much of as they say in the movie, the James Bond of the sky and all that, when it's, you get kind of the more realistic version of it. So it was disappointing, if I recall, but I don't really remember much of what the actual story was because this one has kind of become the favorite version of it for me.
Yeah,
Well, I've drawn
I
a
think
map.
we'll talk at the end.
We'll
I
figure
think
it out.
we'll get-
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll figure it out because it didn't disappoint my watching of the movie.
No.
Right.
That's
right.
the good thing. But Jay, this was your picks.
Yep.
Reasons why?
Honestly, it's just one that I've always loved. This era, as we've kind of talked about on a few film clubs and sometimes just in a chat, I think once that kind of started the idea of doing film club. This was an era of Tom Hanks when he was just making a ton of movies. Green Mile, Castaways, we've gone over in film club. The Terminal. I don't know why I just picked that one ahead of so many others, but this was a great era of Tom Hanks movies.
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13, right?
Thank
I don't
you.
know how I got to the Terminal
Philadelphia.
before Apollo
Yeah,
13 and Philadelphia. He was just, I mean, he was at my childhood, I feel like he was one of the biggest
Splash.
Hollywood stars. Like, yeah, he was
We can
Woody.
keep going.
I mean, there's just so much he was doing at this time, and it felt like everything he touched was a hit or a classic in some fashion. So that kind of, and of course DiCaprio. I mean, this was his youthful era of his career in Hollywood. This was when he was a teenage heartthrob in Titanic and all that kind of stuff. So it was a good time for him, even if it wasn't his best of his acting yet. But a really good time for both actors in terms of their careers. Then the movie itself was one. So again, the actors drew me to it, given their names, and that was kind of the era of Hollywood names still meaning something when it came to, did you see the new DiCaprio and Hanks movie? But then it was just the concept of it. I believe it was a family member. It might have been my uncle who was telling me at the time, because I think I was a teenager, maybe 12, 13 years old at the time that I watched it. And he was like, "Oh, I got a good movie for you." And he was like, it's fairly, decent material for a younger audience to watch too. It's not like it's anything super criminal in terms of, gruesome stuff and things like that. So it was, a decent movie recommended to me by him that he was like, "I think you'll like it. It's really interesting. A couple good actors." And when I watched this as a young 13-year-old kid, I thought it was the most clever movie I've ever seen in my life. And it was funny watching it back this time around because I've watched it many times since. But at this point, it was funny to see how clever I once thought it was versus what it kind of is when you get to it now. But I just loved it. I thought it was the smartest movie I had ever seen. I was recommending it to all my friends at the time. And, while they were still watching things that, were a little bit more Hollywood blockbuster and all that, I felt like I was the cool kid who had this kind of, adult movie to watch and all that kind of thing. So it's one that's always been near and dear to my heart just for nostalgic reasons. It reminds me of my uncle every time I watch it. And I just have a good time with it. I think it's a really interesting story. It is still fairly clever. I don't think it's, as, like I said, I don't think it's as clever as I once thought it was, but I do find that it's one that, kind of gets you like, oh, that's actually pretty clever how they do that and do this and the whole process of it all in terms of the checks and everything that it does with them. So, for a long-winded reason of why I like it, this one's just super nostalgic to me, and I find it to be a pretty solid movie.
Did you go to cinema to see it?
No, it was at home actually. He was my uncle was actually watching us at the time. I believe my parents were on vacation, and he was our babysitter for the week, and it was me and my brother. He was like, "Yeah, you guys should really watch this movie. It's a good one." And we all sat down and watched it, and it like blew me and my brother's mind at the time. We were like, "Wow, that was so cool! A car, airplane pilot, and a lawyer." We just thought it was the coolest story ever.
Sandy, you see this at cinema? Sandy's not there.
Oh, we lost Sandy during my long response.
I'm sorry, my headphones came undone. So sorry about that. I'm talking and I'm looking down. No, I didn't see it in the cinema. I saw it on television later when my kid, probably literally three or 4 years ago when my kids were watching it. I sat down and watched it with them.
Yeah, I must have watched this 2006, 2002. For some reason, it got very, very busy for me being in the Royal Air Force.
Yeah, a little busy. Things going on.
What's going on? I remember always, even when it's on, it's one of those. And I think we've had a few movies that when, even if you're a quarter way through and near the ending, you can just watch 20 minutes, or you can have it in the background, and you still like you know what's going on. You can still kind of thoroughly enjoy listening but not watching, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I always the music
be on in the background. It's one of those. Yeah, you can have it on.
I didn't realize until the end. This is a John Williams.
Yeah, I did not realize it till this viewing. I was stunned by that.
Yeah, and it makes sense because it is very like even the
Very.
I must say the opening sequence to this movie
Mhm.
with the I don't know what style you're going to call
I
it.
like
I
that
don't.
stylized opening.
Yes.
That
I love
Yes.
19
this. Yep. The
kind of
game
that
show. Yep.
James
Mm.
Bondy, but 1960s super stylized art. I love that.
Mm. And it's cool. I like it because it's like very simple animation, and it just pulls you in. You go, oh, what am I watching? You know, it's like it does bring back to those 60s kind of like the Pink Panther kind of
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
ish kind of vibe. It is very very clever. I like it. It sets it up. It like the music. It's getting you into gear. And then of course the movie it flashes quite a little bit at the beginning, and then we have that middle portion, I suppose, like that. But we get like a TV program. Guys, you're going to have to explain what this TV program is.
Oh, I know all about it. It's way before Jay was born. It was a television show in the 70s called To Tell the Truth. And it ran on reruns, like even into the 80s. And I remember there were a lot of these game shows. And then later, the game show channel on cable would play all these throwback game shows. And it's my comfort food. I love to watch this and Card Sharks and Joker's Wild, and I just love them because it reminds me of watching TV with my grandparents. But this show
Mhm.
would have 3 people, and they were all claiming to be the same person. "Hi, I'm Frank Abagnale. Hello, I'm Frank Abagnale. Hi, I'm" and then a panel of, it was usually 2 regulars on the panel, and the lady they showed was Kitty Carlisle, who was like a Hollywood reporter, and actually there's a whole story behind her life. You should check that out. Um, and then like guest appearances in the panel, and they would ask questions of the 3 people to try to determine who is telling the truth. And those on the panel, the person who was the real person, in this case, the Frank Abagnale, had to tell the truth, when they were being asked the questions. The other 2 had to lie to make it seem
Oh,
like they were.
I think we have a similar program. The Brits. I've never really seen it called "Would I Lie to You" or something like that. I think it's
It
called. Yeah.
is, but in that one, it's
Mm,
teams of people playing against each other. But
mm,
it is kind of like it when on What I Lie to You, when
yeah.
they have that part where one person comes out and they have to pretend that they know all 3 people on the folks, you'll have to watch it if you haven't seen What I Lie to You. But it's kind of a twist on To Tell the Truth. And this was a real game show and a real game show that he did appear in after all of his exploits. Um, and the fact that he was on this game show also gives you a little hint as to whether all the things he claimed were actually real or not. Just the fact that he
Mm,
was not locked up for the rest of his life kind of gives you a little hint there.
yeah. So yeah, we get that, and then we get skipped. Now we go after the kind of what I did. Now we get now back in time to Marseille, France, Christmas Eve, 1969. Date doesn't really matter because we don't really think. But I like this because it gives you the French connection straight away. This is
Mhm.
what this does, and it's probably fabricated what actually happened. That's it. But we see Carl
Hanratty.
Hanratty,
Yeah.
who is the FBI agent who is, well, we see later, but I'll say is like division head of the fraud department for
Yeah,
banks. I'm
he's
guessing.
kind of spearheading
Yeah,
the fraud department.
yeah, and he's a bit of a boring bastard, really, like
Mm,
that.
mm.
And he's only entertaining. Like I always think this character is only made entertaining because of Tom Hanks. like that is me,
Yeah,
but because Tom, because the actual character, he is a bit dry. They've made him like very, like
and I think
handsome creature.
purposefully done to be
Yeah,
the counter to
Mm.
Leo's character, who's obviously living this completely lavish, ridiculous lifestyle. So
Mm.
it's to set up that kind of, it's actually interesting. I noticed watching it this time, and I hadn't noticed it in the past. It reminds me a bit of what they did in Wolf of Wall Street as well with Leo, coincidentally Leo, where the main agent who's kind of after his character in that movie. They do a very
Oh
similar
yeah,
thing, a scene of him
It
yeah.
did
kind of
remind me a lot of
sitting
that.
on the subway
Yep.
and that kind of thing and all that with the laundromat scene. I was like, oh,
The
that's
ho hum.
yep.
Mhm.
And the idea that living the life of the law is not always glitz and glamour as much as living on the opposite side of it can be. But at the end of the day, one side's going to end up in trouble and the other side's going to end up on the right side of the law. So I think it's an interesting way to kind of always show that dynamic in characters and stories like this.
Now, right off the bat, I'm completely confused in this film because, again, having watched it the first time, I don't even think I realized it was a true story. Even at the end, maybe I didn't catch the little captions at the end. But this time, so when Frank Abagnale wrote his book, he changed all the names, including the aliases he used. And in the accurate account, obviously you have the real names. And in the movie, you have different names altogether. So, for example, Carl Hanratty in the film is Joseph O'Brien. In the book is Joseph Shea in real life. I mean, yeah. So it gets a little confusing when you're trying to kind of hone in on the real story. And in real life, there were multiple agents tracking him down. And it did come to Joseph Shea to kind of pull him in. But I do like Tom Hanks. I like both of them actually in this film, and I don't think I realized that before. Again, when I kind of just watched it in the background, I think Hanks does a really good job being ho-hum, and I think Leonardo DiCaprio does a good job being absolutely flamboyant and ridiculous. I think very good choices for the cast here.
Yeah, but he's in a French. It's just a cell, really. It's not even a prison. I think it's just a cell in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? Where it's a bit.
It is.
But it's cold, it's damp, and he's being extradited to the United States. What is probably the better idea?
He's been in that cell for 5 months.
Okay.
5, which is what explains the filth and the hair and the
Well, that's it. He pulls a "I'm ill" trick, doesn't he? The old classic. And then, whilst they're washing their hands because of the lice, he quickly door slams. He's escaped, but of course he's in a prison facility. And he's trying to run down.
And he hasn't been out of his cell in 5 months, so his muscles aren't working. That's what happens. Like, his muscles just aren't going to work.
But it's come on, mate. Now it's a bit. I took out that thing, but literally the prison warden or the French cop is just literally dump to his head, isn't he? He's just like, you got no chance like that. Just give up. And then, whilst this is happening, we get this. We then jump back to now we start getting to a little background story of who he is. So we get, of course, now we go back to New Rochdale. Is it New York, 1963?
New Rochelle.
New Rochelle.
Okay. At a Rotary Club. Let's say that is that I think it was a Rotary Club, wasn't it?
It's a community organization, usually of business owners. It's kind of a little mini chamber of commerce kind of thing, and they do good works in their neighborhoods, and we have them all across the United States.
Oh, we have them here. I've been to one.
You do? Okay.
It's cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was invited. I went, you know what? I'm going to wear a dicky boat. I'm going to go. And it's free drinks. Have a laugh. And it was really funny. I was like there, buddy. I was the youngest person by like 30 years.
Awesome. That's so cool.
It was great. It was so funny. Everybody's like, oh, hello. But so this is Frank Abagnale Sr., played by Christopher Walken. And this is our second now with Christopher Walken.
Yep.
I think it was a third.
Yep. Our second Christopher Walken.
Yeah, just True Romance.
True Romance. Yeah,
that's it.
Romance.
And the second time, Christopher Walken plays the father of Amy Adams, right? Am I missing? No, was that Amy Adams in Wedding Crashers?
No, he doesn't play.
Oh, this is our third Christopher Walken. Then, he was in Wedding Crashers. It was not Amy Adams though. It was
who was that?
The one who was married to Sacha Baron Cohen.
Right. Okay.
I can't remember.
I always remember from Home and Away.
What is Isla Fisher. Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher. Well, done, wait, what's the other one? I was thinking of Wedding Crashers. What's the other one with Christopher Walken?
True Romance.
Oh my God, it is our third. Romance, ding, ding, ding. Okay, he's third.
There we go.
This is our third. He's joined Josh Brolin and someone else for Al Pacino for 3 films. film club.
There we go.
There you
And
go.
Congratulations.
he's not the main star in any of them yet.
Nope.
No, but he's great.
He doesn't even really have
yeah.
a big role in any of them.
No, he
but
doesn't.
yeah.
No. So he's giving these things, and we see a young, and I like this because only Leo at this time could have the baby face. So they made the player, the cast. You can play the older person by how we dress you and do your styling hair, but we also can make you look like a 16, 17-year-old kid as well at the same time. By just proper making you look a little bit geeky. So that's it. But it's supposed, this first play of this movie is supposed to show the happiness of the family. Everybody's happy. He's proud of his father, being like that. Christmas, like we get maybe our second Christmas movie, if you want to class it that. Godfather.
It has more intentional references to Christmas than Godfather does, so we might have to call it one.
But yeah, this is literally him and his mum. Everybody's happy, everybody's enjoying it. He he's happy that there's his parents are like, there's love in the relationship and all that, until we go straight into the next scene is where he wakes up. Frank, you got to drive me. Goes to get a laundry, like to get a suit,
A
like
tailor's, to get a
tailor's
black suit allegedly for a family funeral.
Yeah, and he does the little what you see a couple of times. Did you drop this? It must have fallen off straight off your neck. A little, and you can see straight away when he's a bit. Yeah, he's a little bit of a silver tongue. Let's say that. And he's so getting to open up, and this a whole ploy is because he wants his son to act as the chauffeur. So when he turns up at the bank, they would think he's somebody important.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And of course, he then gives this, a conman spill, like but he isn't a con man, is he? He's just made, he
owes taxes.
Yeah,
he's trying to be able to. He's had a relatively successful business. He's just in over his head, and he just needs a loan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're like, nope, you're not getting it, kind of like that. You've got no assets. Everything's being taken. So he sells the car, downgrades. Then we get selling of the house. They downgrade to a flat. And this is literally the downside, the downfall of getting of the family unit is because he gives the first, this is where we get like a bit of an introduction of like how he started being a fraudster. Is very subtly is his dad gives him his first checking book, so we get that with his first name in it, and he's really excited. He can pay by that. It's a bit loose of like how he got his skills.
It's like the combo of, I think this is kind of the force of like, oh yeah, this is the forced foreshadowing kind of thing of like, oh, it's going to be fraud, it's going to be bank fraud, that's how he's going to do it. I do agree it feels a little on the nose. I think just planting the seeds of how they were doing it, with his father being, maybe not a con artist, but a bit of a sly guy who, manipulates and maneuvers people to get his way, or to try to at least. I think planting those seeds are a little more subtle and a little bit better than the kind of on the nose checkbook thing.
And because Frank Jr. has seen how the bank treated his father, he's already got that grudge.
Yeah,
against these
true.
Financial institutions. Now, in the book, and we don't know if this happened in real life. There are some things that like just can't be verified. But in the book, his origin story is his father gave him a credit card, a charge card for a gas station for mobile gasoline. Frank had a job, and Frank's father gave him a car, a rundown car, and he gave him a gas card to go get gas. Well, he figured out that his dad, while he was still prosperous, he wasn't even looking at what Frank Jr. was buying. He was just paying the bill every month. Mm-hmm. And what Frank Jr. started doing was, hey, Dad, I need a new set of tires. Just letting you know I'm going to get tires. He would go to the gas station. He would put the cost of the tires on the charge card, he would not actually take the tires. He would split. So, for example, the tires were $100. The gas station would charge him $100. He would tell the attendant, you keep 50, give me 50 cash, and you get to sell the tires again. So isn't that a deal? And he did that to the tune of $3,400 of buying tires and all kinds of car accessories because he had this charge card for mobile gas. And he would do that at different gas stations and he would get the cash. And then eventually his father got wise to it because obviously he was getting
new tires every week.
Yeah, well, and he was throwing away, Frank Jr. was throwing away the bills until finally a representative from Mobile Gas came and knocked on the door and said, hey, what are you doing? And Frank Jr. explained the con to his dad and said, well, here's what I'm doing, Dad. Sorry I got you wrapped up in this. And in a weird way, his dad was maybe slightly proud of him and paid the bill.
Huh?
And that's
Now,
what
quickly for anybody else in the world, gas is called petroleum because it's a liquid. It's called petrol because it's a liquid. It goes in the car. It's
gasoline.
Gas is gas.
Gasoline.
The fumes, you know, so gas.
Bloody
Do you know what tires are? You know what tires?
I had to do it.
I have
anyway,
been schooled.
But yeah, so he is now being downgraded from his private school now to a public school, and he still goes in his uniform. I can't believe any kid would do this. I always thought this was a bit
get the stuffing beat out of you if you did that.
Instant bullying. You're instantly asking for it. What actually kind of happens? We get the school bully, I suppose they want to call him, and this living gives him a little bit of a shoulder, you know, having a laugh. You're not going to turn up. I'm not been like, what school? Yeah, that you're going to if you don't have to wear a school uniform, you're not going to turn up like a school uniform. Yeah, it's a
you would honestly imagine that any kid, teenager, student, whatever, who had to wear uniforms in their last school would be ecstatic to not have to wear one at the next school. You wouldn't think they'd even want to.
Yeah, especially it's not. Yeah, it's what 1960s. So you'd be like, oh yeah, great. I could be a bit cooler.
For him,
then,
it's already given him an air of authority, though. He's already like the uniform. You can already see where that attraction to uniforms is going to come from. He feels like there's some authority. Like, well, I'm better than you.
It's like the status symbols in society type of thing. You can tell that he's was proud of his father, or that his father was very proud of himself for it. With him mentioning how great of an accomplishment it was to be accepted into that club, as well as just the way, I think that's kind of a great way that they filmed that scene. Actually, not to go back too far, what we've already covered, but the way Leo just looks like he's looking up at his dad, and they put on this, it's a really nice filmed in that sense of showing that this is his role model, and everything his dad cherishes, he wants to cherish as well. So it's that status symbol. And again, we'll see that kind of come up throughout the whole movie, especially with how he sees his dad as his dad's kind of life continues to unfold or unravel, I guess, around him. That it's all just about like, hey, the cars, the clothes, this type of thing. So it sets the tone for his character.
But instantly, he goes into, of course, his mum's French, goes into the French class. He sees the bully, but there's no teacher. And the balls of him to go, and then I am the teacher like that. How would he know the substitute teacher was needed? I don't know, don't care. It doesn't really matter. It's just the balls of him to then, like, would I like this because it makes you laugh even when you have like the substitute teacher like comes in and
poor
says,
lady.
like, poor lady, she had to drive, and he says, I always sub for whatever teacher is. But of course you get like the headmaster's kind of like, he's been like subbing for like weeks or something like that, nobody knew.
And
setting
like
up
a field trip and parent teacher conferences.
But of all the things that you would have your parents hauled into school for, this is something to be proud of your kid for,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, like that's why like the father's kind of smirk, and he's like, I can't believe you had the balls to do this kind of thing. The mum's a little bit different, but I get why he gives him the nudge at the end. But I can't believe a kid, like he's 16, 17 at this time. Would you have the balls? Would you have to have some
And that's
cojones?
every time it's
do
funny
this?
because every time I see this scene, part of me is like,
I want
I
it to be
don't
real.
know. It seems a little unrealistic. Like, who would really have the balls to do something like that? But then
Yeah.
you're like, well, I mean, this guy also posed as all these things and had this incredibly accomplished, you know, whether it was good or bad, you have to at least admit it's incredibly accomplished con artist life. So, like, I mean, yeah, if anybody is going to have the balls to do it, I guess it would be this guy.
Yeah. It's just,
They do obviously continue to say how
Mm.
he looks so much older than he is, and that's going to play a really
Mhm.
important part in
Right.
the rest of the film is that, you know, he can pass for 10 years older than he is.
Mhm.
Starting now, starting
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah. But yeah, but I like this. He's also, I like how his mindset works on this scene. I think this is great for little setup for later because he realizes that's a fake note. And she's like, no, it's not. And she goes, it is, because the first thing you do is fold it. So his mindset is, look, I know the tricks. I've done the tricks. And without being a crease. And he's right. Yeah, you first thing. Yeah.
Yep.
He is right. It's not going to look pristine coming from your house in the morning.
So yeah, I like this. It's just a good little setup because he's young and he's clever. He's clever. It's just showing, you know, he's a little bit street smarts, let's say that, but in a different way. You know, he can, you know, he reads people, he knows how to manipulate people quite well. But yeah, we get onto that, and then we get him going home, and this is one of the people we see very briefly at the Rotary Club or whatever you know to things, and he's coming out, you know, they're having tea. It looks a bit dodgy. It looks a bit suspicious. In your mind, you're like, she's playing away like that. It's a bit obvious. He gets a bit pissed off, you know, what's going on. And then we get to the next day. He's coming.
Quick before we pass off that, do you guys know who that gentleman is there?
Father of Josh Brolin.
That is, in fact, the father of Josh Brolin.
It's another
James
Brolin.
Brolin. So not the same
Brolin.
kind of connection, but a familial link there.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What else has he been in?
That's Josh Brolin's dad. I don't know, honestly. I'm not even sure. This is the one thing I can think of him from.
Like,
he doesn't look like him. I must say that. There's a
80s TV shows.
No, I feel like when you look at him enough, you start to see a little bit like kind of like facial structure.
Yeah,
I can
if
kind
you
of
see him
some
younger,
Josh
he
Brolin
does
in
look
there.
like Josh Brolin when he was younger.
Yeah,
he was
I
in
kind of see
everything.
it in the face, like the brow line, the nose. I can see it a bit.
There you go. Fun fact.
But
Fun
there you go.
Fun fact. Another Brolin.
One of our few relative links, I think, that we've had throughout movies. I don't think we've had too many brothers or sisters or dads or kids.
We'll have a dad.
Oh, okay.
We'll have a Sheen.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We'll have a Sheen and a Sheen.
That's right.
So he goes out and he notices there's a nice car outside the house. Again, a kid with a briefcase, kind of satchel kind of thing, I'm guessing. Yeah, maybe 60s, maybe different. But he turns up.
Yeah, that's the one thing is like I can't tell if that would have been more, I wouldn't imagine teenagers were walking around with briefcases. But in the 60s, I don't know.
Now you can have a briefcase, but when you were like,
I carried a briefcase to kindergarten, dude. And there's a picture of me with my briefcase and
a
my
stack of books under the other arm, ready to go.
I had a little brief because my mom was like, do you want a backpack or do you know, what do you want? And I picked the little mini briefcase.
That's awesome.
But did you go to a crappy school or an high school?
Well, I went to a Catholic school in the middle of downtown Baltimore. You decide what kind of school it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it was okay. I was the only one with a little briefcase, but no one
That's
cared.
too funny.
Yeah, but that's funny. I think it's different when you're a little kid. He's 17, you know.
Yeah.
He's at an age. But yeah, he turns up.
Points for the briefcase.
He turns up and there's a guy there. He kicks off, you know.
Oh, well, yeah, just because of how he kind of treats this guy. I did want to say one thing about the scene with Josh Brolin's dad. I think Leo plays that scene really well. It's super underrated how he just that felt like a kid who just found out some really unfortunate news about somebody he idolizes, which is one of his parents. I thought and it's pure silence. It's him just being totally silent and, You can just
doesn't
see
know
his
what to do.
stomach is dropped through the floor. His heart is broken over seeing his mother's, what his mother had quite obviously just done with a guy who was friends with his father. So I thought I think that's one of his best little bits of acting in the whole movie. I thought it was so well done there.
Which actually did not happen in the real story.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I have to think that, because Abagnale said he didn't actually, the real Frank Abagnale Jr. said he didn't actually talk to Steven Spielberg about the film. He did see it, and when he finally saw it, he listed all of his objections, and this is probably the primary one. His mother, as far as he knew, did not cheat on his father. They actually never got divorced. They separated, and for the rest of his life, Frank Abagnale Sr. was trying to get back his wife for the rest of his days because he just absolutely adored her, as they do portray in the film. But yeah, that part not correct. And she didn't remarry or anything. They were just separated for the rest of their lives.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this guy, he's like, we need to take you into the other room. And there's kind of like, when he kind of gets, you need to make a decision. Your mum or your dad, isn't it? Really, it's he's had divorced
because
parents.
of his age. Like if you're a certain age, you get to choose.
Yeah, I can't. My adopted parents are divorced, and that's what happened to me. Literally, when I was a kid, and you're like, what the flipping heck is going on? And the worst thing, I think it's bad. I think it's different probably now, but having loads of people and you don't know who they are going, make a decision. And you're like a little kid, and you're like, "What is going on? What do you mean make a decision?" And it's bad because like parents, like that, they can when they divorce and all that, or splitting up, it gets bad. Mine was bad. So yeah, there was mediators and all that, but like this is what this is. It's like you make a decision. But yeah, he kind of at points flees, and then we get back to, I suppose, modern in the movie, the correct time period, I suppose, like that. Is now we get arrested Leo, who is under the custody of Hanratty back in Paris from Marseille. So they, he's got him into the area, and they're just having a little chat. It's just more about him, Hanratty not telling him much, and then him asking kind of questions about back home, and like. It's just a playful thing of trying to get their relationship. There's like, they've known each other. They like,
it's like there's a mutual familiarity, not just respect between the two of them.
Yeah. And then of course we go then back things is where he's kind of running, I suppose, like that. From
at this point, he's just like a runaway.
Yeah, he's just a runaway. He's getting kicked out of a hotel. And then we see him at the next hotel. And this is where he, out of nowhere, decides to manipulate the date of birth on his checkbook, I suppose, like that. So
I think it's his birth certificate.
Is it birth certificate?
I think it's his birth certificate, and then he's going to make copies of it because we don't have a date of birth on our checks. But
and that never even occurred to me.
Yeah,
I always assumed it was a check. And
just because of the size, look, there's the size what he's looking at. So maybe it's the one to the left.
Yeah.
Do you have old style? What is your birth certificate?
I have both. So like I have a big birth certificate and then a little card. I'm assuming it's the big document on the. I'm assuming it's the bigger document.
We have
now
this is weird because I have multiple ones because I'm adopted, but my normal one is very long. It's really big. It's like it's an A4 but extended. Yours? Is that like yours?
That's how my original one is. And then if you get a copy, you get a little tiny one. It's like a little card.
Yes, yeah, like an A2 card, I suppose, like that, isn't it?
A little bigger than a credit card. Yeah,
A3. Sorry, A3. Like a little, A4. Can't remember. My paper size, damn me. But yeah, I didn't realize what it is. But then he changes it from 1948. I can't remember what it is.
To 38.
38,
yeah.
So
adds the 10
he takes off 10 years.
Yeah, I have never
once 10 years.
realized that was a date of birth. I just I just assumed. I've always just looked at it as like, oh yeah, more check manipulation. I never looked at
I thought it
date
was
of birth right there. In his name, Abigail.
Books don't have date of birth on them, do they?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I've never even put that together because I wouldn't thought check.
Now the simple con that he was able to do for most of his life, the easiest con in the world was he pretended to be his dad on paper, right? Frank Abagnale Sr., Jr. You just take the junior off. So he was able to engage in some transactions without people, seeing him in person by just pretending to be his dad and using his dad's date of birth and all of his information.
So I've looked at a real life picture. He did, like when he was younger, he didn't look that old. And then unless his dad looked that young and like he was in like that middle bracket, you would, I
always think people back then always looked older than they were. That's just me.
Yeah, because his dad would have been Second World War age, definitely. You would have thought. So, yeah, unless he was like I'll say like a really young, but then people looking at a date of birth, they were like, yeah, it's a bit, unless like they got the kid at 16 or something like that. She was, like, I don't know. But then he was said, no, because he met her at Second World War, didn't he? He met her in France.
Yes.
So and he's got to be 16, 8, like, unless he lied, 16 and got pregnant, come back, 17. Yeah. So, so you're looking at that, maybe. I'm just.
But what was in his favor, Frank Jr., was his dad did own a stationery store. So he knew everything about pens and inks and papers and what kind of paper was used for invoices and checks and all that good stuff. So he had all that inside information and even some practice at playing around with all those materials. And, so being able to scratch off some of the ink and then replace it with some kind of a permanent ink, he absolutely had the skills to do that.
That makes a little bit more sense because they don't really explain how he's got this kind, like he just knows how to do
these skills.
It.
Yep, working in a stationer.
So
he knows all about the papers and the inks.
So this is where I think I thought it was a check thing because the next scenes he's taking checks. Oh, that's blatantly a check. So it must have been check, but they're not showing ID.
He's opened more accounts. That's what.
Yeah.
See, the film, because the book is so detailed, there are places now where I realize, like, okay, the film left all this stuff out. If you didn't know all the details, it might be confusing, or else maybe you're just having fun watching the film and you don't care. You don't care.
Sorry, my light just gone off.
Your light just went out.
Oh, no, it's back. There you go. Don't know what happened there. Had a flutter.
But what he would do in real life was, and in this case, remember, his dad gives him the checks and has put $25 in the account. And so he can write a few good checks, which he does. But it takes so long back in the day. It takes a week for the checks to route from one bank to another and to make sure the money's there. So he could write a whole checkbook full of checks. Then he's going to open an account in another bank and do the same thing. He's going to put $25 or $50 in the bank. So the first few are good. And then he's going to write the rest as bad checks. And this is what he does over and over and over again.
Oh, Viper's saying something. Look what Viper's been naughty. That means Viper did it.
No, I never have. I never had to. I always got the top grade. Never needed to. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I plead the fifth.
I was actually good because I got away with doing homework because I was really sporty, so I didn't actually have to do homework.
So you're one of those.
I was one of those. Yeah, damn all right. No, like, sorry, I don't have to do it today. They're like bastards. But yeah, Viper manipulated some Viper did something wrong today, and you have to sign off to know that you were aware of the situation. Blatant. I bet Viper knew his mum's signature off by heart. It was just a snake symbol.
See, I think our school knew all those tricks. They would call. They would call. They would want
you just had to get creative, invent new ones. That's all.
No, I've only been in trouble once, and it wasn't my fault. This is actually a true story.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
That's what they all say.
Some kid literally got beaten up, and then he blamed me. So I got in, and then nearly got suspended until the PE teacher was like, he was with me. So
Mhm.
what I did is then found
went and
out
beat him
like
up?
then and then beat the kid up. So like the thing. Then I beat him
Exactly.
up,
Now
and
you
then
can
he
say
went.
it's true.
Then because then he said he beat me up. They were like, "No, we know that story. He never did it." Clever on my part.
There you
Very
go.
clever on
I
your
was like,
part.
"No, you nearly
Kind of
got me
stupid on
suspended."
his
There
part.
you go. Yeah. So yeah, that was yeah, very bad. He picked on the wrong scapegoat there. But yeah, so Leo is going to bank the bank. Yeah, not doing that well. He's trying every little manipulating. I just need $5 or whatever. It goes lower and lower, doesn't he? Like for my school books, until miraculously he gets a hallelujah moment of literally sees a pilot. So he follows the pilot through the hotel with the stewardesses. Literally, they're getting autographs and everything. Yep, it's the high life of a bus driver in the sky.
The Pan Am age, right? All
Wasn't this
those.
the era of pilots really being kind of admired and
Yep.
all that? This type of thing.
I still remember going in seeing the pilots when I was like young, and you would go in and they would tell you everything, and then they would give you a model plane of the aircraft you were in, as like if you were a certain
neat.
age. Yeah, I got loads, but then my dad did fly so as well, so probably
Oh,
helped.
so you got
Probably
special
other
treatment.
people, maybe I got special treatment. But yeah, so he comes up with the idea to he's set up an interview with Pan Am head office or whatever office it is, with the most stupidest person. I'm going to give you all the information you want to commit fraud. And I'm not going to think. So he turns up, like he's a like the school newspaper or anything. And yeah, he literally tells them everything. Where can you get the uniform? What happens? Blah blah blah. He things. So he's straight away. He's gets the suit, and the tailor or whatever who's having it goes, "Would you like us to charge it to the airline?" And he doesn't realize you can do that. You can, they look after their own. So yeah, I've lost my suit got lost or damaged. He says, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, he's
Hotel laundry lost it.
That's it, yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
like, send it, charge it, and he gives his first fake
Happens
name
all the time, he says. Happens all the time.
So as this, he's Frank Williams, I think it is, as the
is it Taylor? Is it Frank Taylor? I think.
I thought, of course it is.
Because he's
Williams,
Frank William
Taylor,
Abagnale. And does he do
Connors.
Williams too? Okay, so I might
He
have
does
William,
all of it. He does all of it.
Then I might have missed the Williams one. I think I just thought of the Taylor.
I think it's There's Taylor, Williams, and then
Connors.
What Viper said. But yeah, so he gets it, and then I like this because this is one of the bank managers who turns him away when he does actually do the trick. He went to do the trick on one of the ladies with the necklace, did these things, but this time he doesn't recognize him. But because he's a pilot, you're more than welcome here. Your money's more than welcome. So that happens, and it's just like a play. And then of course it's this is like he's got what is it? No, it's not this bit, is it? Is it? Yeah, this is it. When he finds out from the one of the hotels if they are a Pan Am,
if it's a paycheck,
is it a paycheck? They can get the transfer and they can give him the cash straight away. Or they're like
plus
$300.
So at another check, they can only give them $100, but for the paycheck, they can give you the check plus. What they would do is they would actually give you more than the amount on the check and charge the difference as a cash withdrawal back to your bank. And so he's not only making whatever the face value of the check is plus the 300, and that's when he said, okay, I got this. And in the film, he's peeling the Pan Am logos off of model planes.
There we go.
In real life, he's buying model kits and the stickers are in the kits. So he's just
okay.
taking the stickers. He's not building the planes and de-stickifying them. He goes to a toy store and buys the planes and then just does the decals that are in the kits for the planes.
Mhm.
But I think this makes for good movie.
Yeah, and
This is
it
good
sets up the
cinema.
little joke with the
Planes in a
multiple
bathtub.
planes,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
it
kind of
sets up a
cute.
good little joke. And I kind of like it. That it adds a little bit of that extra. Again, this was something that as a kid I was like, oh, I thought it was so clever. He was taking it off the planes and watching it this time. It doesn't feel as clever, but I do still like it. I think it adds for a nice little entertainment embellishment.
And I like it because it makes it look, oh my God, how stupid were people that use the same logo on their pages.
Right. Well, yeah.
Exactly.
That is on a toy.
True stuff.
But yeah, so we get that, and of course he uses a bit of a manipulation so they don't pay their full attention to it, but like because he's a pilot, and he's a little
They're
bit
distracted
flirty
by him.
I'm good looking, you're look at me, I'm a pilot, come on, so he gets that, and then this is where he goes to the next hotel after these things, is where they say we can't get you the money we want, but if you go to the airport, they look after their own.
They look after their own. They'll cash the check at the ticket counter, and they do.
Yeah, so he goes in and he plays a little thing and becomes the you are deadhead. Oh, which what seat is that again? And he goes, and he plays it, but he's a bit dumb. How this literally, if this bit, because I've like airport security had to be terrible. Terrible.
It was back then. No one, it was, I think the book begins with the disclaimer, dear reader, or something to the effect of, you have to understand this happened before the age of hijackings and other incidents. And none of this would have been possible if there had been airport security. And there just wasn't. All you needed was this little badge. And it was the uniform that was the gateway to anywhere he wanted to be, including free tickets anywhere around the world. And he had learned when he was interviewing that guy, that very gracious guy, and there's this full court press in the media promoting pilots and stewardesses to try to get more people to apply, right? The airports are expanding and exploding, and Pan Am was just the best place to be. So the nice gentleman who was talking to him told him everything, including that, you could get a free trip anywhere in the world if you were willing to sit in the jump seat. And he claims in the book that he didn't know what the jump seat was, and he was just it was fortuitous that the stewardess pulled it out for him because he was looking, just like in the film, he's looking all around the cockpit for it. But the guy also told him, when you're in that seat, you don't talk, because the pilots, they're flying the plane. And he kind of joked and said, well, the only time you talk is if they want you to take the controls because they need a break. And he claims that happened a few times, that the pilots actually handed him the controls and he flew. Well, who knows? Again, unreliable narrator on many levels.
Now, I'm guaranteed Jay is too young to ever flown on a Pan Am.
It's funny you say that, because when I first saw this movie, I'm like, oh, do they make up airlines? But like, I had never heard of Pan Am in my life. I had never heard of Pan Am in my life.
Even
to this day, TWA. I was just going to ask. I'm like, even to this day, I don't know. Was TWA a real one, or is that made up?
TWA was Pan Am. TWA with the big American
They were the big ones. Trans World Airways.
Yeah,
Pan American and Trans World.
They have what is it? Another Leo movie, The Aviator. He owns
The Aviator.
What's his? Who is it?
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Hughes. TWA.
Yep.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't even put that together.
There we go. So there we go. Little link. But yeah, this is when was it? 89, 90? Had to be the Pan Am. They had a massive,
terrible disasters.
And literally completely bankrupt him. The fallout, the planes they
Pan Am
found
108, 103. Pan Am 103.
I can't remember what it was now. Yeah.
And then TWA then followed up with a horrible disaster as well. Was it Pan Am?
And it was engineering upgrade costs.
Yeah, it was 103.
Everything. It was. It was.
It was
terrible.
the Lockerbie bombing. That was the
big one.
Lockerbie, Scotland.
But yeah, and it was everything on top of it. All the they just once people started looking into the company, it was you're cutting corners quite a lot, and they both did them quite. But yeah, I flew a Pan Am.
And then it was TWA 800. That was the one.
Yeah, but they the low cost luxury airlines really. But yeah, it is there was the posh bit. I suppose like a British Airways, I suppose you want to call it, like kind of modern, kind of, but like for the American side and then coming across. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, I do like when he sits down, he'd never flown before. Never flown before. He's like, oh shit. Like that, he reaches out. It's like that.
It's a hell of a way to fly for the first time.
Yeah. I do like that bit. But we don't see that. I would have loved the movie if they went to the destinations.
Yes.
That would have been just cool, like him having we see him flinging women to women, but it would have been good to have just I'm going to say a lady of the night from I don't know, Barcelona,
Hawaii,
Italy,
and Rome,
or wherever, Mexico, and like have these little in the hotel rooms of that, but they're all it's all he goes. We don't really see anything else, but we come back. So in the book, does he say he's jet setting off?
Oh, everywhere. Yeah, and he just goes from one city to another. And he's overcome the problem of not being able to cash checks in a foreign country because he just keeps cashing checks at the Pan Am counter, but he doesn't fly on Pan Am. So he always flies on a different airline because the deadhead privileges carry over to other airlines. So he's always flying on other airlines and saying, hey, I'm a Pan Am pilot. When they ask, like, where's your crew, or who? Oh, I'm relieving another pilot. So that's why he's always traveling alone. He's relieving another pilot at the end destination who became sick or whatever, and that's why he's not traveling with his crew. And it works because now he can go to any country in the world as long as there's a Pan Am counter there. He can cash his checks. And that's what he's doing. But he doesn't need to do that for long because then he figures a way to start cashing the checks in banks all around the world. And, he gets so if you were to rate on a scale of believability, obviously the true story is the believable story. The film is the next most credible, believe it or not,
No
Jay.
excuse, baby.
When you think the film is crazy, the film is not as crazy as the book. The book is outrageous and outlandish, and it's the unreliable narrator. But in the book, so I think in the film, they actually threw some things out of the book because they were just so unbelievable. In the book, one of the first women he meets is a gal whose father owns a printing press. And I think they sort of allude to it at the end of the film when he's at that French printing press. That's kind of sort of what was going on, because he strikes up this friendship with the father, and the father basically lets him do anything in the printing press. The second woman he meets, allegedly in real life, is a woman who's the artist who designs the paper that checks are printed on. Do we believe that it was that easy? Don't know. But that's what, he claims that by pure chance, he now has a close relationship with a printer.
If you went out searching, trying to, you knew the area and then you manipulated your way in there, I could believe that. But by chance,
by pure chance, she says, oh, I'm an artist. And he says, oh, what do you do? What's your medium? She says, oh, it's quite boring, commercial paper. And he's like, we're best friends. And she makes the paper with the watermarks and the paper with the designs. And okay, so now you got the gal who makes the paper and the guy with the printer. And, so he's running off his own checks pretty quickly once he's established in Europe.
Well, they do that in the movie slightly. Like we get we get back to the father, just getting like an update of where he is, what's going on. And then we kind of get him, getting the women. He's a pilot. He's like, he's going from stewardess to stewardess. Looks like, city to city. We have a little bit of a fling moment, and then we kind of get him then realizing this next bit is when he goes through the bank and he's like, no, too old, until he goes, young and single.
Yep,
So he's looking at their
exactly.
wedding rings. He must be doing like that. And again, she's naive. She's supposed to be young. This bit, I can't believe again, just because I'm like, I couldn't. Okay, airlines, banks. Why are they letting him out the back again? It's not even that. Let him out the back. Like let's have a talk. So kind
to
of
understand how the routing numbers work. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, and nobody. Oh, but he's a pilot. He's fine. It's like that. It's what? Yeah. So she's like, yeah. What does he say? I want to take you out for a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear that often.
No, but he got me. I'll say I have an American steak dinner. That one's a crap.
I mean,
got me. I don't care.
It's not the worst.
I'll wear a dress for you, Jay. If you want to do it, I'm like, you're taking me out for a Boston steak dinner. I'm there.
And
there are honestly some really good steakhouses in Boston too. So
there actually are some
It's
really
a
good restaurants in Boston.
First time in 16 years, I've got a date.
What you're waiting for, that steak dinner, ladies.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, you could command somebody with a worse pickup line than a steak dinner, but
a vegetarian.
Using that now.
You don't hear that one all that often.
I'm going to take you to a steak dinner. I'm a vegan.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, see you later.
My God, that'd be great. A steak dinner. That is a great chat line, though. Just steak dinner. I love it. But yeah, so she goes out, and then this is again. It does things. It's just a plausibility. I don't care because it just sets up the movie, and you have to take a thing. Lucky enough, the same machine. And how would he get an auction in his area? They're just doing sell-offs of these like things are workable.
Like the thing is, and I agree. And these are some of the reasons why, like this time through, when I was really giving it an analytical kind of comb over in terms of how I viewed the movie. These were some of the things that I'm like, oh, I thought this movie was more clever when I was younger, but some of these things are awfully convenient. And, it kind of lessens the cleverness of the movie for me a bit. But I mean, in a sense, like, okay, you can sell me on the idea that he would get his hands on a piece of this equipment and he would find a way to do it, most likely through, like, you can sell me on the concept of it. You just needed to show me more of him getting to that, like, okay, I need to find an auction. I need to hunt one down, find one, because I need to get this piece of equipment because I need it for what I need to do. Not just like this scene ends, next scene, he's right where he needs to be getting an auction for this piece. You know what I mean? Like, it's a believable part of the story because, I mean, realistically, he would have had to have had some of this stuff to be able to pull off what he did. It's just the jump to it feels a little rushed, that it makes it feel way too convenient, and it takes away some of the cleverness of what, is going on with the character.
But yeah, so now he's in old happy mode. He's literally, living the high life. And now we get our first, the FBI are working it out. They're realizing, because he's like this bit, he's changing there's the same check, but he's changing the serial number at the bottom,
the routing number, so that it has to go in order to clear.
It's a routing number.
Routing. It's routing.
It's routing number.
The one time we leave a U in there, you got to let us.
All right, chat. Sorry, we have to do it. It's routing. There's no such word as routing. I don't care what they say. We made it up. We're English. Anyway, back to the movie.
We finally leave a U in.
He muted both of us that time. Remember that Whiplash clip where he said, "I wish I could do this thing with my hand to shut both of you up." And Jay, what did you say?
We don't have the way to do it back. That's the problem.
Exactly. But he's done it. He's gone and done it.
And can I just say, while we're speaking of the way we pronounce things, and I'm going to ask Sandy, I thought Tom Hanks is trying to go for a Boston accent in this. Is that, or did you think it was Boston or just something off the East Coast? Because I thought it was Boston.
I thought he was,
and
a
I
little
thought
bit
it was
too.
awful. It was way too over the top. His accent, as much as I like how he acts in this film, the Boston accent on him is rough in this one.
I thought so too, Jay. And I wasn't quite sure what he was going for.
At first I'm like, is it New York or is this just a general East Coast? But then it started to really dig in that I'm like, I think this is Boston, and it just sounded a bit rough. I think it works a little bit when you go for the era. Maybe in the 60s, it was a little bit more old timey with the accent, but yeah, that was my one issue with his acting, his job in this, because I do think he plays the role well, and I think he does a good job with that. Like we were saying, that bland kind of, character, law enforcement character. It was just, yeah, the accent was a little bit rough for me.
But yeah, so
is there another film where he's doing the same accent? Ooh, it's bothering me.
Now that you mention it, I do feel like there's not where he's doing kind of an East Coast accent,
he's
but now I can't
sounding
think
this
of it.
way in a different film, and now I can't. We'll have to think on it.
Yeah, I'd have to look at his. Let me just pull up his IMDb while I'm sitting here.
Is it the Bridge of Spies? Spies the Bridge or whatever? He does it.
No.
Is it? I can't remember.
I gotta put it out of my mind because it's gonna bother me again.
Yeah.
But in the days before computers, a check was actually posted in the mail to go back to the Federal Reserve Bank to clear through the person's bank. If you're on the East Coast, like our Fed is number 4 where I live, right? We're Fed Bank number 4. But if you're on the East Coast and you want it to take a week or 2 weeks to clear, you send it to the West Coast. If you're on the West Coast, you send it to the East Coast. And that's what allegedly he was doing.
Yeah, I can't remember saying like, who writes checks anymore? I can't remember the last time I'd done a check.
A friend of mine actually recently just mentioned that he still writes checks, and we in the group chat we roasted him. We're like, "Do you use a stone and chisel too? Like, what? Who still writes checks?
Transfer the money, yeah. Transfer the money is like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Captain Phillips.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
And when I Googled it, it literally, here's what came up. The worst Boston accents in the history of film. And he's got 2 of the top 10.
Where's he? What's the other one? Is the other one Catch Me If You Can?
Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, yeah. All right. So I'm not the only one who thought it. Sometimes I think
where's he born? Is he a Californian? Is he?
No, I don't
is
think. Why did I think he was like Midwest or South or something?
Hanks from
like
California.
Oh, it is California. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Ooh, he'll be 70 next year. Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
He'll be 70 next year.
Oh, talking about Peter, like just about age. Sorry, I'm going to break it off here completely. I'm going right.
That's nothing film clubs.
No. Only Sandy would know that Mrs. Bouquet died.
Oh no!
96 years old.
God bless Patricia.
God bless her, whoever she is.
Now, is it Rutledge or Routledge?
Routledge, I suppose, in the UK, wouldn't it be? Yeah.
But wouldn't you say Routledge because it's R-O-U?
No, Routledge.
Oh.
But God bless her because her name
that doesn't make any sense.
See? But wait, when you hear this, Jay, her name in the show that she made famous was Hyacinth Bouquet, spelled B-U-C-K-E-T, spelled bucket.
So that's bucket. Okay, you guys, you're just making up rules as it goes. No, this doesn't make sense.
It was like a Keeping Up Appearances. The show, it went on for years, and it was very like funny things because she thought she was upper class, but she wasn't. The sister was a cancer estate with kids all smoking and all that, and then she would introduce herself as no, I'm Mrs. She'd be like, Doctor, Mrs. Bucket, it's Bouquet. Okay. It's pronounced Bouquet.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And she was like, to look at her.
Out of nowhere, but God bless you. Make it to 96. That's awesome.
You have to check it out. But to look at her, she does look like a prim and proper lady, but she was such a comedian.
Yeah, she was.
Until her late years, she would do all those specials about. And she did very physical comedy too, as an older lady. Like she'd be hanging off the back of a truck or falling off a ladder. Oh, darn. It's the end of an era.
I just mind because you know, I used to watch it. Everybody in the UK, that was always on every night. But that's a good innings. And I say 96 was a good innings.
96, you live that's a nice long life.
Yeah.
It is. It is, but so Tom Hanks, reportedly 2 of the top 10 worst Boston accents in film.
This is a bad one. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little picky on it. Like I think we can all be with our own accents, and when we see them in film, but I've always felt like it's a really bad Boston accent in this one.
Still, the worst accent in the world is Jason Statham in The One. Which is not doing that. He
Not
tries
Kevin
to do
Costner
no.
in
He
Robin
tries
Hood?
to do no. He
I'll have
tries
to
to
look
do
it
a
up.
mid.
I haven't heard it.
I don't know if it's Midwestern accent,
Oh
and
no.
I don't know. But then he doesn't like because he's such a British like Southern tone. It just is like like it. No, it's just weird. It's just weird. It's just like I don't get what you're trying to do. There's no accent. There's like there's words, and you've got an accent, but that accent's nowhere in the world. That is really weird. If you ever seen it, The One, yeah, anybody spoils the movie because you're like after the movie, like, where is he supposed to be from? What is this? It's just it's like somebody's taken drugs and then gone act like an American. What state? Doesn't matter. Just go for it.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
That's
There's
it.
only 50 of them, and there's dialect like there's like 10 Texas. I love when people
But then
say,
they get yeah.
"Oh, I'm going
That's
for
it.
Texas."
He got
There's
really
like 10
confused.
Texas accents.
But that's it. He sounded like he got confused. He went, "I'm going to do Iowa, with Nevada. Oh, I've got to do New York. Oh, people from California as well. Oh, you know,
I'll
I've
have
got
to look this
Alaska.
up. I don't think
gonna
I've
do-
heard it.
Oh,
It's interesting.
literally, it's a great movie, except for
Well, there's
when he literally opens his mouth. Jet Li's in it. It's quite a good concept. It's
okay.
it's
Oh, goodness.
he has to go through different dimensions, and when he kills himself in those other dimensions, he gets stronger, and it's about being the one. And then he does like that.
Oh,
so, yeah.
the one with Jet Li. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like early 2000s. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. But he's awful with it. He's absolutely just like, yeah, it's like he's acting like his ability's great. His fighting's great. And then when he talks, you're like, oh, why didn't they just say, like, he should have been the director at one point. So I'm going off to that. Should have just gone, can you just do your own accent and we'll just make out that you're over here as an FBI agent or CIA agent, whatever it is, just on the off chance like that. Like, can you stop whatever that is? Like, it's really weird.
You just opened up like a memory wormhole for me with this movie, Stasis. I remember this so vividly. The trailers, the commercials on TV. Wow.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's a good
Jet Li's
movie.
the one, 2001. Oh man, I remember this vividly. It used to be on another one on TBS, TNT a few years later when big budget movies would make their way to cable. Wow. Yeah, sorry. That just took me down memory lane for a second. I hadn't thought of that movie in ages.
It's good. I love it. I think it's a very.
I have to watch it again. Honestly, as a kid, I can't
Statham.
remember any of it as a kid. I just kind of remember it being because that was when like Jet Li and DMX were doing action movies, and oh man, that was a fun time in action flicks.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to what. So we got a little. He meets up with his dad, and he takes him to a very posh restaurant where the fork is cold. It's a it's a salad. It's like that.
Chilled salad fork. Okay,
chilled
I didn't
salad
know
fork.
the salad forks were chilled. I had no idea. I've never encountered a chilled fork before.
I've had a chilled salad, like a chilled dish. The salads come in.
Yes.
I see the salad in a chilled dish. I don't think I've ever gotten the chilled fork.
I was very freaked out the first time when they do the sorbet in between the courses.
The palate cleanser, yes.
When you get that, you're like, why am I getting pudding? Why am I getting
over yet? All you gave me was
right?
a salad.
Okay, I'm like, well, I'm still hungry, but I'll have it. Thank you very much.
My grandmother, God bless her. I thank her every day for torturing us with those kinds of little, I guess, privileges once in a while. She would take us out for a fancy meal to teach us how to have a fancy meal. And one year on my birthday, she took me to a restaurant that had the palate cleanser in between. And I did. I thought after the salad, I was like, is this it? Is dinner over? And that was the first time I had encountered the palate cleanser between the courses. And I'm so glad she did those things. I really am so glad. I look back every once in a while at little things that she did. She was my grandfather's second wife. So she's not my blood grandmother, but obviously took very good care of us. And she came from her parents. Her mother was born in France, escaped during the war, lived all over the world. And then she was born here, but her mother and her aunties who came over, they taught her French cooking. And so my grandmother, although she worked a full-time job, she was also an amazing chef, like
Oh, no
classically
kidding.
trained French chef. So yeah, she taught us all about the correct fork, the correct way to fold your napkin, everything. And even my daughters, thankfully, before she passed away, my daughters were old enough to go out to fancy dinner with great grand
Oh,
Gigi
that's nice.
and go through that ritual as well, so that you know what. I don't think they remembered it. They might have been a little too young, but they did remember how to fold the napkin. They can fold the napkins into all those little animal shapes, which is
Oh,
kind of cool.
nice.
So they've got skills. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So sorry, we've gone down a path. Fancy
So,
restaurant sends us all
Sorry,
down a path.
Sandy. Sandy, Viper's asking. I just work outwards to inwards.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I
I know what they are. I know what all the forks do. They transfer food
Woo!
from the plate to your mouth. It's fine. Doesn't matter which one.
I do, but unfortunately, I'm the one in the family who I don't want to go. I think we talked about this on the last film club. I don't want to go near silver. Like, I hate cleaning silver. I can smell silver. That metallic smell I'm very sensitive to that. So of course my grandmother has 2 full 400-piece sets
Oh,
of
wow.
silver with all of those fancies. None of us wanted it. She had the set from her father's side, her mother's side, and we those did go to the auction house because sadly no one wanted the silver. So she
Mhm.
left us that, and I did get to see all the weird little shaped things that some of them I don't know what we would have ever used. You know, there's a difference between a pickle fork and an olive fork.
I didn't even know there was one of either, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
There's a pickle fork and there's an olive fork, and then there's an escargot fork that
You
has a
two
little
are so
hole.
unsocialized, aren't
Yeah.
I
you?
know.
I like the
Holder for your
I like the one
escargot.
for all
It's
fork.
standard.
It can do
Literally,
everything.
I do. This is my got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt, but bow
Yeah.
tie, like
The epitome
bow
of
tie
posh.
dinner. Yeah, bow tie dinner. Viper will tell you we've gone out many a times, with our different forks. Gone
Tails,
back to his
or
private
white
pool.
tie or
It's
black
fine.
tie? White tie for you both.
But yeah,
Super.
it's sweet.
Oh,
But
I know why
like
we were talking about it, because of
because
Downton, James. That's why we
Downton.
were
Yes,
talking about
Downton.
silver
Oh, yeah.
and place settings.
Yes, we were.
Because
Yes,
Downton.
Downton. But yeah, so on this, so he goes, and I don't like. I think his dad knows at this point that he's not really who he is. I'm guessing because he kind of like, where are you going? Like that. Just and he's, tell me to stop. You don't want to stop, and he's and he buys him a. At this point, he gives him a car, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
Cadillac.
With all the Cadillac and like that. He said, "I can't have it. The IRS will like ask too many questions where I get it from." Yeah, and it's just like I like the interaction. I do like the father son dynamic when they're on screen together. There's not enough of it, I think, because like just the chemistry of the two actors, I think does it well. And Christopher Walken just always seems to nail these parts. He's a great actor, but yeah, I like it. And it's just a little scene to just really of like, look, Dad, I'm doing this, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, give it up. I mean, yeah, where you going? Where you going? Tell me where you're going. And he's kind of proud of his son that I think what they're trying to show is his dad is proud that he's getting one over on the system.
Exactly.
They fucked him
The system that screwed him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows if it really screwed him or if he screwed himself by not. We don't really know his dad's situation, but we know that his perspective of it is it's the system screwing him.
Yeah.
So in his world, he sees his son kind of screwing that system over again. It's himself. So it's like a bit of a bit of payback through his son. It's I would imagine, I guess, a proud moment for him as he plays it off at least.
Now, whilst that's happening, they're going the FBI. We get a little bit of a knock joke.
Yeah.
And like the guy in the back, I can never remember his name, but he's in Band of Brothers.
Oh,
I thought he looked super familiar. Okay.
Only because I'm watching it now.
Okay. That makes sense. Because I thought he looked super familiar. I just couldn't pinpoint him to what I knew of him.
Adamski.
Yeah. I wouldn't get his name, but he's in Band of Brothers. He's the one. When they're in. I can't remember the battle. When him and his mate lose their leg at the same time.
Market Garden.
Okay.
No, before Market Garden.
Yeah. After Mark. No, after.
Oh, after.
Yeah.
let's see.
Basque. Lena Basque. Oh, I can't remember where. No, not Basque.
Oh, he's also in What About Bob? Oh no, it's not
Yeah.
What About Bob.
But yeah, anyway, just want to throw that out. But yeah, we get a knock joke here. Does anybody want to finish it?
No, not on your stream. No, I'll be careful on your stream.
Yeah, for the sake of your stream, I won't.
There we go. I think it's been.
It is a
fine.
good
We're
one, though.
past it.
It's
no,
honestly a good one.
apparently the swearing has now been removed off YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the 5 minute
So you're
rule is
okay to
gone.
swear.
You're okay to swear if it's in content. Like that's it. So yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh, he's Garnier.
That's pretty much it. in a
He
nutshell.
plays William Garnier. Yeah,
That's
and
it,
he's
William
the
Garnier,
guy, the real life guy in the wheelchair. Yeah, okay. I
Mm.
like him too. I like try to remember who the real life people were that they were playing.
Oh, it gets me out of the end.
It does.
Makes
It
me-
does.
gets me
Hey, you
crying.
know what? We forgot something else besides the knock joke. We forgot the little story about the 2 mice in the bucket of
Oh yes, at the beginning.
Cream.
Yes,
Right.
we get yes. Sorry,
and
yeah.
one
go on,
drowns and the other one paddles so hard he turns the cream into butter.
Yeah.
Which one are
That is,
you?
yeah, that is at the Rotary Club. Yeah, when he's and
Mhm.
I feel like I am the one who
the second mouse.
I am
the second mouse. That's it. Yeah,
And he's so proud.
that is important later. Yeah.
Just so proud.
But yeah, so we get to a hotel. I don't know where this, wherever it is. And yeah, this is it. We've got the check. This is the same guy, and then the hotel, whatever lobby in the guy. He's he's still here.
Mhm.
He's still here.
What room? Yeah, room. So yeah, they charge up. Why? I'm okay. He's not a field agent. I'm sure they would have got back up, or the other two would have gone with him.
So, and that's the thing. I've always kind of felt like they go heavy on the idea that he's not a field agent because he's nervous. He can't get his gun out of the holster. He shows his badge to the cleaning person backwards instead of with his identification actually facing him. So they getting across the idea he's incredibly nervous, obviously. And they also kind of get a bit from like his superior back at the FBI office that like it's a small group he's working with. They're not really, doesn't seem like they're putting a lot of resources towards it, and he's kind of spearheading it, so it's his call. So you could sell me on the idea of him going up there alone, but I do agree. I feel like he's probably not going alone unless you have a team that small, because you would need the other two guys to kind of block off the exits. So like, I guess if you sell me on the idea that it's just this small group and that's all the resources at this moment that they were willing to give, this guy who's again never been in the field, so you'd assume you'd actually give him some field agents. But I do agree. As much as I love the way this scene plays out, I would agree that it seems a bit odd that he kind of
and he bursts in like the guy is danger to life. Like
that is that is,
and he's not. He's a fraudster. He's not.
But again, you could attribute that to not being in the field much and just being way too nervous, too high strung and nervous, and you're coming in way too hot for a situation you're not ready for. So even that you could sell me on it. I think for me the power, I'm like, it's like you said, it's the no backup. You'd have to give me a reason as to why there's a clear reason as to why you're only sending 3 of these guys. I was going to say if you feel like you have them cornered, but they do kind of stumble across it. They really just took a small crew to go ask this guy a question about a check. They weren't expecting him to still be there. So I don't know. The more I unravel it, the more you could maybe sell me on it.
You're going to call local enforcement. At least,
well, yeah, I guess at least that, right? At least give them a heads up to get something to cover your perimeter. You know what I mean? Like, so something at least.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
We've got him cornered. We know he can't leave the facility. Let's get it's
one of those things. Dumb. The more you unpack it, you could sell me on some stuff, but again, then you come up with more reasons like that.
This is where
you're right.
But we have again what you've said earlier. Everything's it's
just feels a little convenient.
Right. Because this bit, he gives it. Okay, he comes out of the toilet and he acts cool. Again, you got some cojones. Literally, guy's got a little pistol at pointed at your revolver. And then he's like, "No, didn't you think like you were the only ones that thought you won that the Secret Service? I'm Barry Allen, Secret Service. What we got to go in a chat in a minute for the poll." And then he's like, "Yeah, okay." And he's like, "Look, I've got it. you lost out. That's our collar. Takes the machine, gives him his like, look, here's my ID. Can I see yours? And he shows him his ID, and he's like, yeah, you can have mine. He goes, oh, don't you want your wallet back? Don't worry about it. But there is a point where I couldn't get a great photo. Is where he looks out. We've got him in already, and he looks out.
Yeah, the neighbor.
Where a point of what we see earlier is a guy helping a blind
Murph.
man.
Hey, Murph.
Get down, and then just happens without him knowing this is happening. He looks out the window, and it's happening. It's a bit too easy.
Yeah,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
those are the things that I think, as I watched it through this time, what again, like I'd mentioned for the previous scene that we talked about it with, was it lowers the kind of intelligent level of cleverness that I thought that I felt like the movie had in some of my younger viewings versus now. It's like, and I do think there's the way he approaches Tom Hanks' character, Hanratty, coming out of the bathroom, and the whole comment, like all that, I think is really clever on the Frank character's part. It's just the convenience of he shows up with no backup. He, has the neighbors being let out to the car at the right. Like those are the things that are like, you had a really, right in the middle of those two things, you had a nice little clever scene where the con artist is far more comfortable in this situation than the guy who's got no field experience, or he manipulates him by just essentially using his highly high-strung, I guess, kind of emotional state at the moment, or just awareness state. Uses it against him, just gets one over on him, gets calm with that, with the gun in his face, that lets this guy know, like, hey, you're the one who's overreacting here. I'm the calm one. Let's get to the bottom of all this. That's all really great, and I think really clever. And then it's just sandwiched between two things that are like, oh yeah, that's kind of convenient. So those are some of the spots where I'm like, yeah, well, it's just not as clever as I once thought, but I do think it's still clever.
That's the thing, is like, and we're gonna go through the book and the real life, is like when we get, like, he realizes he's got like he collects his bottle.
You just wrap labels, just labels off of bottles,
and then we get okay. So then his boss kind of, look, it's not us who lost him, you lost him.
So sorry, go ahead.
Now this is where again my logic brain goes in, and I can't remember what it is called in America when they send out to everyone, this is what they look like. He's going to give, like, they know he's manipulating checks to the banks and to Pan Am. They know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But don't send out this is what, look, like what's it
APB. It's either an all points bulletin or a BOLO. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have him there.
They don't know. We can do that. Teletype happened, teletext, teletype existed in the 60s.
And he's not in every state, so they know to, like, oh, okay, this is the region he's in. Let's do that. And if they need to go, like, 50 or 50 states, they would do that. Interpol could get involved and everything. It's it was just a bit, okay, brain again. Why didn't they go all out? Because it carries on happening in a certain way. Yeah.
So for me, I take it as him, this director or superior to Hanratty's character. I think it's his point of, all we really have is, you've seen him, but there's no picture of him. All we have is the description of what you've seen, which, as he says, is going to be 6'1", somewhere from 18 to 28, brown hair, thin. It's like, it's not that much to go on. I understand. I don't know what their sketch abilities were.
And they don't have his name yet, his real name yet.
Right. Like, there's not that. So, like, I can still believe him saying, like, there's not enough for us to put that out just because you've seen him, like nobody else has, and that description is going to fit X amount of people, even if it's just a tri-state area or whatever, like a small section of I can't remember if he's in New York at this point or if he's down in Florida. I can't remember where he is.
I think he's in New York at this point.
It's still New York, right? Right. So even if you want to put it in that kind of area, it's going to cover too many people. So I guess for me, the problem is, and I would imagine a lot of viewers of the movie, the problem would be, I don't know what technology was available at this time to put out an accurate description and or sketch, picture, something to give an actual physical look at the person and not just 6'1", 18 to 28, brown hair, 180 pounds.
But even though my logic does that, the movie cleverly moves on from the bank to the next bit quite well. So we get him realizing he's gone back to Pan Am, and the guy he's interviewing has said, giving him a newspaper, like, you're in the newspaper, and he gives him like that. There's some guy who's acting as a pilot, so he knows now. Maybe he needs to change tact.
Right.
And what does he do? We go to the cinema. Always go to the cinema, people. Always go to the cinema, and we see. I think this is Octopus.
I wouldn't know.
No, that was in the 80s.
Was it?
Yeah, that was not Sean Connery.
This could be 1970s, 71.
Yeah, it has to be an earlier one.
I think where we see him currently,
it's
like 1969. So it would if they are accurate and didn't use one, that's out of timeline with the story they're telling.
Dr. No is 70. Sorry, Dr. No is 62, so it can't be that. I'm going to find it out. I'm going to say what. Go on. What's everybody's guess? What's everybody's guess?
It's going to be 68 or 69. On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
No, that is George Lazenby.
I have a feeling this is one that's out of time, out of the proper timeline that the movie's telling. I feel like this is probably one later, and they're just using it at a time in the 60s that it wouldn't have existed.
Let's have a look. Sure, is it? Well, Sean Connery, so we know that. Okay, so we're gonna go. Let's go right back. So you're thinking 69, 68. Well, it could be 69 or
68. 67. It can't be any later than 68 because everything that happens in this film allegedly happens in 2 years' time.
Yeah. He's in France in 1969.
Forever.
Oh, that's the one?
Yeah, it's going to start 71. Diamonds Are Forever. There isn't a 69 one.
I have a feeling they took something like that from whenever 71 and just kind of crammed it in there.
Just out of order.
Yeah, Thunderball 65.
Probably just to use a Connery one to make sure. Just because
it had to be
the most iconic.
But yeah, he gets the suit. Good suit, though. Good suit.
I say it all the time. You can't go wrong with it. It's still a classic to this day. The gray, the black tie, white shirt. I've always liked it. I think it's a clean look.
I agree.
I always do a three piece every time I'm getting a suit.
Oh yeah. It's nice. It's a nice look.
So he gets it, and did she need the money? Because we see.
Oh no, she was a lady of a certain profession, for sure.
Yeah. No, but the actress.
Oh, just the casting. I see what you mean. I mean, I don't know. Spielberg calls you up, says you want to be in a movie, take a role, right? At that point,
you haven't been in. Like her last movie must have been Electra. It must have been.
No, Electra would have been, I think, a couple years later. Wouldn't that have been like 04? Let me just check.
But yeah, but what's like? Well, she would have been in the Daredevil movie, wouldn't she? When was Daredevil?
Yeah, that would have been. Yep, that was 2003, so that was a year later.
There you go.
I want to say Electra was a couple years because this was 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what she would have just been in before that. I'm curious. 2002. Catch Me If You Can. She would have just been in Felicity as Hannah Bibb. I never watched Felicity.
I never watched that.
She would have been in Pearl Harbor.
Oh, God, the world's worst movie. Okay, I may change my mind on one of my.
She would have been in Dude, Where's My Car?
A Dude, Where's
I'm not really familiar with the rest of these, honestly. Yeah, I mean, everything else is just stuff I don't even really recognize by name. A lot of it TV movies. So, she wasn't in very much, but I would say the two biggest things that I can think of. I know the show Felicity. I just never watched it. And she was only in 3 episodes. So probably Dude, Where's My Car, Pearl Harbor, and then this. And then Daredevil, Alias, 13 going on 30.
Alias, I mean, for me, Electra. Alias is where, like, that's
I think
one of her
probably
best
household name at that point with Alias.
Yeah. And I really liked Alias a lot.
But I think in this, it shows he's not manipulation of now he's manipulating. I'm going to say normal people in the profession, but he's manipulating that because go fish, how much would you want to spend for one night with me? And she's a high class one, I suppose, like that. Was it gets up to $1,000?
$1,000.
So let's say it's
1960s, right?
Sandy, go on, 1970s, $1,000. Go.
Oh, it's going to be double. or more. It's going to be 2000 or 25. I actually have my inflation calculator here.
I want to
Let's
say this is
see.
like 1967, 68-ish. So
gonna
No, it's got to be
something in
no,
that
because he's
range.
69 at the
7.
beginning, so he's got to be
Well,
70.
the 69 is the beginning when he's
Oh my
arrested, I
God,
believe.
it's
Oh,
8
in-
yes, it
times.
is. So
Yeah, it's
68.
Right. So this
8,000.
should be about 67,
How much?
68.
Sandy, sorry,
Eight.
sorry.
It's 8 times, 8,000.
Damn. Well, fair enough, I guess. I don't know what
Bloody
else to
hell.
say there.
I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
I was waiting for one of you to say
YouTube
it. I
things
wasn't
are
going to say it.
interesting. No.
So, yeah, okay, but
There you
then he still manipulates by the checks of like, well, I can't. We've settled on a price, and then he goes, "This is like whatever, how much is like a $5,000 check, doesn't he?" So, and then she decides
It's like a
if you sign it over to
it's
me,
a $1,400 check, and so she
whatever
gives
it
him $400 back.
yeah.
And
So
we
you
of
sign
course
it
all
over
know
to me.
it's a
That's it.
useless check.
Yeah, and so he actually rips her off.
Yeah.
So she actually pays him to have a night.
So
Really.
I love that portion of it because it's just a fun little, fun little clever portion of the movie. But overall, I hate this scene. I find it to be
Yeah, I do
so
too.
awkward. I find the two of them to be so awkward together. I think they're both good actors. Obviously, Leo's one of my favorites. I think he's fantastic. And Jennifer Garner, I think, is a good actress as well. But
Yeah, but why is she
they
in the
are
movie?
awful in this.
Why is she in the movie?
So I think that feels more like that now, to be honest, because we know who she is and she feels more random.
No, but I mean,
back
like,
on it.
not even that. Well, maybe she might like, but why is the scene like?
Oh,
the
well, that
scene
yeah, that's what I mean in terms
It's
of like
we've
I
got
just
her.
don't think you needed any of it. It's so
So it
awkward.
feels like she was in the next like studio, and they were like, "Oh, we can put you in this scene," and it might be cut. We're not going to cut you now because it's her. It was a bit
I
odd.
just didn't need the whole as funny as I think the moment is when you get to the idea of realization that he's now being paid $400 for this night that they're going to have. It's funny and it's clever and you get a good chuckle out of it. And he kind of has a smirk like, oh, yeah, that sounds great to me. This is a great night. So like that whole thing, I think it's a fun little part of the movie. But I don't think it's worth all the much, like the rest of how much I don't like that scene and just the awkwardness of the two of them. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
I didn't even realize it was
weird.
her initially because she looks so much older than herself in this. Like she looks like an older woman in this scene.
It's funny because my wife mentioned that she's like, she really has never aged ever. Like she just still kind of looks the same. Yeah, she just looks the same. Which I mean, yeah, kudos. That's fantastic for her.
But now we get kind of a bit of a
never happened. Never happened.
I know it.
I had a feeling Christmas Eve calls weren't real.
No, we know. But like, yeah, we get this back and forth kind of like his first Christmas call. One, you're gonna know the extension an FBI agent direct.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And
well, I was trying to think. He doesn't give him a card or anything, right?
No.
In that exchange in the hotel, there's no card or anything. I mean, he just looks at his ID and that's about it. So yeah, it is odd that he would know.
Yeah, but also then you got to realize the guy's lonely and he works late at night.
Yeah, that he's alone at his office desk on Christmas Eve. Yeah, this is a very Hollywood having its fun with the story.
Yeah, it's just their things, and they have a little back. Like it's to give them a relationship before they really meet each other. It's like, I'm familiar with you, and we said earlier, I don't like it.
The Frank Jr. misses holidays, misses family, and Hanratty doesn't have a family. You know, they're trying to build that kind of relationship. Here's what I think. I mean, I'll say it at this point instead of waiting for the end. This is a film that would benefit from you, A, never knowing that it's a real story, and B, never having read the book. Because you can enjoy this film so much more if you don't have to worry about these things. But these scenes, right, the Christmas scenes are really annoying if you know the real story and or have read the book. Because it just never happened.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get now, I'm going to end the chat right now. I'm going to end the poll. That's before I do. Who's Barry Allen?
Ezra Miller.
Okay, I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. Bruce Wayne. Who's Bruce Wayne?
Batman, of course.
Who's Barry Allen?
The Flash, of course.
The Flash.
Who's Marvin Junko?
Jenko, why is that? Well, I know Jenko. Why is that one slipping my mind right now?
Or Junko?
I know one of them has to be Judge Dredd because you're a Judge Dredd person.
Nope. Judge Dredd is Joseph
No,
Dredd.
who is it? Why is that? I can think of Jenko. It sounds so familiar, but it's not clicking right now.
Marvin Janko. Do you want to end your misery? It's a very off the cuff. The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, okay, that's why I heard it recently because they just rebooted Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, they called him a different name though.
Did they? Okay.
Alex Holland.
I'm not familiar with Alex Holland. Can't think of that one.
The Swamp Thing.
Oh yes,
Oh,
I was never a big Swamp Thing guy.
Yeah, Doctor. I guess I should have put Doctor because he's a doctor. But that's it. Yeah, 86%. Barry Allen, The Flash. So yeah,
Good job,
I do. I actually like this scene. I do like that.
I do too.
As a comic nerd, it's
It
fun.
never happened, but it's a comedy version. It's like, are you a collector?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And he's like, it's Barry Allen. And then this is how I'm guessing this never happened. This is because I've kind
never
of
happened.
Truth. Never happened of like how they outed him and realizing he was under 21, under 18 or whatever at this point is because he collected comic books. Like we read comic books and he liked the Flash. And I like that. Yeah. And then they go from that. They managed to how
I
don't get how they would still find him off that.
They were looking for runaways essentially.
Okay.
They were looking for runaway. And now I'm trying to remember myself, and I just watched it literally last night. They were looking for runaways in why that area though? Why did they? Oh, because he mentioned the Yankees. Did he mention the Yankees in that?
Why does the Yankees always win?
Right, because he mentions the pinstripes because his
No,
father
it's
says
not.
it earlier. So they kind of narrow it down to all right, we're looking for a kid who's, still
Can
at
we
the
mention
comic
the
reading age and
Are we allowed to yet?
in New York.
Are we allowed to mention the Yankees yet? Or is that too soon?
I mean, this movie is almost a bit of fate that we were gonna. There's no getting around it.
We're all rooting against them with you, Jay. We are all
the whole. I like to think the all of baseball,
the
roots
entire
against the Yankees
world and
along with
universe.
that.
Who are they playing?
They've got the Blue Jays, Toronto Blue Jays. So
Okay, I can do that.
Finished
They're Canadian. I can support the Canadian.
they're another division rival for us, but I can root for them. The enemy of my enemy is my friend on this one. Don't even get me started.
They're part of the Commonwealth. I can support them.
I can root for them. I won't watch, but I'll root for the Blue Jays. I'll watch if it's an elimination game in New York, just so I can see those Yankees fans upset in their stadium because there's nothing like it.
Oh, this is deep. I like it.
There's nothing like a deflated Yankee stadium, and they'll say the same about Fenway. So fair enough.
Jay, do you know why Orioles fans hate the Blue Jays?
I don't actually.
So way back when, I think it was probably in the 96, 97 era when the Orioles were having a little bit of a resurgence. The Orioles, Camden Yards hosted the All-Star game. And it was the only time I can remember having the All-Star game in Baltimore. And we had Mike Mussina at that time. And he was awesome, who went on to play for the Yankees. And he was our best player. And we were hosting the All-Star game. And the coach of the American League team was Cito Gaston, the skipper of the Blue Jays. And the game's going on. And well, he didn't choose Mike Mussina to start, which we were really upset with because there were only two Oriole players on the team, Cal Ripken and Mike Mussina, I believe. He didn't choose him to be the starting pitcher. Fourth inning goes by. He changes out of pitchers. An all-star game, you try to get everybody in.
Yeah, everybody's basically getting a half inning.
The entire game went by, and he didn't put an Oriole in the game.
No kidding. Wow.
So
what an ass.
All over Baltimore, on every radio station, especially 98 Rock, which still exists, by the way, one of the nation's only hard rock heavy metal radio stations still existing. It was Cito sucks is the chant. And so anytime, even today, someone mentions the Blue Jays, I'm like, okay, I'll root for the Blue Jays, but Cito sucks because it just ruined the All-Star game for all of us. You want to see your players.
That's a scummy kind of
in the game. Oh, he was so evil. It's
such like an easy. Well, I mean, they've taken it more seriously in the past too, but it's all these All-Star games. They're basically like exhibitions. They're less than exhibitions. The guys are out there having fun, cranking home runs if they can. And
Ken Griffey hit the wall, hit the warehouse wall. It was the first time someone hit the wall. So James, beyond the boundaries of the playing field at Camden Yards is a walkway and then the big warehouse that forms, an important part of the architecture. A ball, I don't think until that time had actually a home run ball would go over the fence and bounce on the road, but not hit the wall of the warehouse. And Ken Griffey Jr. had one hit the ball of the warehouse. Now a few people have hit it, but anyway, it was a big deal. And yeah, that man.
Yeah.
But we can get over it for this purpose. Again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I don't care who it is.
We don't hold a grudge.
Frankly, even if it's the Dodgers in the World Series again, sometimes it's even better when they make it that far and then they lose. So as long as somebody knocks them out, I'm happy. Get them out of here. Get them out of the playoffs.
I'm with you.
There we go. Some baseball rivalry.
See what happens when Jay misses a week and we come back and we just
well, and I didn't let Stasis get to take his victory lap for Europe, completely dismantling.
Oh no, that'll be the end.
Yeah, what happened on the last day?
Yeah.
Huh?
Got
the last
close,
day was awesome.
The last day, honestly, at least saved the joy of watching the Cup, because my God, was Friday and Saturday rough. Well, not if you were on one side.
And the worst thing, I must say, I don't like. I think I said this previously. I don't like it when one team literally goes.
Yeah, we literally
got to the point when I was like, "Oh, this is going to be quite embarrassing."
When it was like 11 and a half to like 4.5 or something. At one point I was like, "Oh my God, this is the exact thing we discussed." And
I agree with the Europe and the American players. Is the New York fans?
They were
evil.
They were awful.
Yeah, and you're going to literally, and they announced it won't go back there.
Nope,
there you go.
That's
New York for you.
There we go. You open your mouth. Like, who throws a beer can at a player's wife?
No,
New Yorkers.
I mean, I had heard that. I didn't look to confirm it. Did that actually happen? Oh, that's just awful. Yeah, it was classless showing from.
It's just like, and he wasn't even playing. Apparently, like it was like off. He'd finished, and she was waiting or whatever, and they were like boom at her, and I was like,
it's just and like. That's something you unfortunately see in a lot of other American sports. Like you'll see the rowdy people that do stupid stuff and say stupid stuff.
There's banter.
It's just something you never really see in golf. It was so surprising to see it make its way to golf. Not that it should be anywhere else. I mean, you shouldn't be throwing beer cans or any of that stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mentioned
to Sandy, who was it? One of them went up to him and just was like one of the Irish one. He just was like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
it was like it was horrible to see. It was just because you could hear it, and like I say, Roy was right on a couple of ones. I ain't gonna take the shot until they shut up.
Yeah,
and he was right to do it. No, I'm not taking the shot.
Of course, conditions are one thing. Weather conditions are one thing. I don't have to listen to this, piece of crap behind me.
Yeah, it's not golf. It's like that. You don't do it. Was just like that, and it was
a pretty
embarrassing. But I did like. I must say, with talking about Ryder Cup, I did like the nervousness of the comeback.
Right.
And I was like, this is good. It's getting there. But then it was like, I was like, you look at the scoreboard, like it was just so.
It would have taken such a perfect exact scenario to fully pull it off. At least it made it.
If that would have happened, that would have been a Hollywood movie. Because we had 1.5 points to get to retain, and I was like, even if everybody ate half, and it was it, and I was
needed
like,
to be perfect.
And it had to be completely.
Then we lost a half a point on a 4. The whole thing was, it was unfortunate. Yeah. I wish it was more competitive the whole way through. The last day made up for it, at least in terms of a viewer's perspective.
I don't get why, because they a couple of I was listening to things. They were like, where they put the pins is quite easy, and we don't understand why the Americans are folding. And it was like they said, like this is their home, like not home territory. It was just it was terrible. Like someone be like, "What are you doing?" And like the last ones when they were going hooking it, and you're like, "Oh, that is bad." And then the recoveries were terrible. It was just bad. Sorry, guys, we're going off.
The one good thing that came out of it was it reminds you that even the pros aren't human. Even they hit bad golf shots.
Oh, some of them you're like, whoa, where's that going?
I mean, the Saturday was just awful. As an American, supporter, and that side of it, it was Saturday sucked.
Oh,
Just
yeah, when
once
it went,
once it
I
got
was
down
like,
to like I said, like 11.5 to like 4.5, I was like, oh my god, this
yeah,
is
when it
just
got
going to be an
3-1, I was
absolute
like, oh, they
embarrassment.
look off, and it was just like that. You
And
can't blame like it wasn't even you can't blame the captains. The captains picked them. It was just they just
yeah.
like I don't get if it wasn't geared up or whatever. It was like you looked at. I felt like the Europeans were more American as like a team than the Americans were, and I mean that because every other ones you've had, go USA,
Well, yeah, they were very
gearing
like
each
rah
other up,
rah,
and
good
it felt
body language. Yeah,
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 and it was
they
like
had a lot of team
when
spirit.
like Fleetwood and Rose, they just went for it. They just destroyed like that. Them first 2 days, I was like,
yeah,
wow,
Rose is a
yeah,
talent.
yeah.
No, it was like I said, it's always fun to watch it. I wish it was better the first 2 days because it really was not fun to watch for me the first 2 days.
Sorry,
Last day was
Sandy.
good, but the black eye on the whole thing was just it was the fans. The fans were just awful. It, it was a huge black eye on the whole event in terms of an American showing. It doesn't represent all of America. So I always hate that, like, oh, this is a bad showing for America. Like, that's not true. It was a bad showing for the people who were there. It was a bad showing for those fans because not all fans are like that, and most are very respectful.
And you can
how
see
many times has this been in America, and we've never dealt with that? It was just that group of fans was just a crappy group.
And I'm not I've never been a fan. Like if my Queen's Park Rangers, I've been at them. It was snowing, it was hailing, it was disgusting, and we were losing 3-1 against Preston North End at home. I think it would then got the 4-1, and I still went and stayed, and everybody else around me stayed because one, it was too cold. But I'm not one of those who leave when we retained.
Yeah, I don't go to the end.
Everybody went. Everybody went. It was a bit of a cheer on you, like, kid. This is your country.
I've only left maybe like 1 or 2 games a little early, and that was because I have a very distinct rule when it comes to sports. And if I feel like the team's not giving an effort, then I'm not going to give my effort. Even if it comes to watching it, like sometimes it'll even be my beloved Celtics. They'll have a game where they just come out awful. It seems like they don't want to be there. They don't care. The opponent was a bottom of the league opponent, and they just thought they could roll out of the gym and win the game type of thing. And you're getting blown out by 25 by a team who has no business in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left. Yeah, if you guys don't care, I'm going to go head to my car and get into park and get out of here a little bit quicker. That's my only rule. If I feel like you guys don't care out there, then I don't care either. But if I feel like you're giving it your all, and I'm staying to the end to show support.
I'm adopting that rule. That's a very good rule.
Yep, I do even watch it on TV. Like, if you're taking 2.5 to 3 hours of my very busy life and schedule on a nightly basis, if you come out and you look like crap and like you guys don't want to play, don't want to be there, I'm watching a movie, I'm watching something else. I'm not wasting my time watching you if you're not going to give an effort. So other than that, I don't usually walk out and leave games early, or even I try to watch as many as I can, but you can't watch them all.
But anyway, that was our weekly sports section of Film Club.
There's always
it always happens. It always happens. It happens every time. Wait till next year when we got the World Cup. That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah,
anyway,
that'll be fun.
But yeah, so hold it. We're gonna go back. Okay, they've had a meeting with the mum. She's like giving cake and all that, and then she goes, still treating him like a kid. And she was like, "Don't worry, I'll write a check."
Yeah.
How much is it for? And how much was it? Like,
I want to say 1.4 million.
1.4 million at that time.
And 1.4 million.
By the way, do you know what she was offering them? James.
Oh, the Sara Lee, yeah.
Do you know what Sara Lee is?
Yes, we have.
You have it over there. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the little frozen cakes. They're actually quite
you
good.
have it over there. It's probably just way healthier than the ones we have here.
I like a little frozen pound cake, a little frozen Sara Lee. Yeah.
But yeah, so get that. And then we get him kind of moving on now. We're in Georgia. He's now, I'm guessing this is one of his bases. Like, so
he goes down there because he encounters an advertisement, allegedly, for an all singles community. These are now popping up in the 60s, late 60s, these all singles, freewheeling communities. And he's all for it. Swinging club. It's exactly what it is. Like, sort of, it's swinging. It's the swinging 60s. And so he's attracted to that. He's like, yeah, I'll go to Atlanta. Sure. And he ends up in Atlanta. And he ends up meeting up with, and actually, according to the real life story, making friends, starting to contemplate whether he's going to continue his life like this. According to the book, starting to contemplate, hey, I've got all this money. He's got money stashed all around the country. And he's thinking, you know what? I'm just going to have fun and maybe not really worry about keeping my swindle going. But lo and behold, and of course he meets a couple of girls and he meets a couple of friends, and lo and behold, one of his friends gets injured and he wants to go visit him in a hospital.
What's it? He's like, they're all there, reckon he's what's it, like, record player and all that. Yeah, and this is, we get to see we get Amy Adams. Now, sadly, I do recollect you do not like her as an actress.
I don't like her as an actress. I really don't.
I'm kind of hit or miss with her. It depends on the role. I think sometimes she can be a little bit bland, but then other times I think she's pretty good. Like, I thought she was good in Arrival. I thought she was an awful Lois Lane, unfortunately, but I thought the casting was just wrong, to be honest. I don't think she was awful acting. I just didn't think she was a good Lois Lane. And I think she's good in this. I think she plays this role really well, actually.
She does.
So yeah, it's sometimes she's just a bit plain for me in terms of her acting.
I think it is, and I think it's kind of like it's Amy Adams playing Amy Adams in a lot of cases.
Yeah, fair.
I don't like the Lois Lane, and okay, I know this isn't the greatest movie ever, but I really have a soft spot for all of the Night at the Museum movies, especially Night at the Museum in the Smith, the first Night at the Museum, New York Museum. Okay, that's cool. I've been there, but Battle of the Smithsonian, that is so right up my alley. And she's playing Amelia Earhart, who, as a historical figure, there are a lot of
that's right.
A lot of question marks around her historically. Anyway, number one, I don't think Amelia Earhart had a place in the film because the first film was so careful about the historical, not accuracy, but the historical value of all the characters, particularly Teddy Roosevelt, who, sorry, going down a Night at the Museum, but particularly Teddy Roosevelt being such a pivotal character, and Pocahontas, or Sacagawea. Amelia Earhart, there's so many questions about her value historically and whether her adventures were actually exaggerated. I didn't feel like, number one, the character should have had a place in that film, but number two, Amy Adams' performance was really bad in that film. So that really kind of, made a not so great impression on me. And yeah, that's
fair enough.
A little bit of a bland performance. But here,
I think that's where
for this role, I think she does
introduction.
This role well. Yeah, braces and all.
What was her first introduction to acting? Really?
This would have been one of the first movies, I think. I can check. Because I remember right after this would have been Talladega Nights.
She was in Buffy.
Oh, was she in Buffy?
Okay.
Really
I've got
bad
a fun
acting,
one for you.
literally.
She was in an episode of Smallville.
She plays like a tux. Yeah, she's in Smallville. Yeah. In Buffy, she's plays like a Texan.
So she like the daughter of someone famous. Is that why she gets this role?
Have we had her in another movie? I feel like we've talked about her being in Buffy.
We've talked about
Smallville before. Maybe I'm just having deja vu.
I keep confusing her. I'm sorry, with the chick from Wedding Crashers, but you're right. It's not her. I thought we did have her in another movie.
I could have sworn we did because I feel like I remember saying like, "Oh, I was just watching the episode of Smallville."
Well, she was a really bit part.
Yeah, I just want to look here. I'm curious.
I'm doing the same thing because I really think we had her before.
It's either deja vu or I feel like we've had that conversation before.
No, maybe it wasn't her. And I'm sorry, maybe it's probably that. I'm so sorry, that redhead bias where I lump them all in together, which is very rude, and I should not do that.
Yeah, I mean, she hadn't really been in much, like an episode of Charmed, an episode of that 70s show, a lot of TV stuff, Smallville.
Oh, there's one that should be on the list. Charlie Wilson's War. That's a good one. We should put that on the list.
Okay.
And Julia, I did not like her in that either, and I love Julia Child, and I really didn't. Trouble with the Curve. That's what we had her in.
We've had this conversation.
Trouble with the Curve.
Yep. And that's kind of another one where I feel like she's a little bit bland. That's kind of like and again, it's not like she's awful. It's just that it's like forgettable a bit. She was in The Fighter.
Right.
The Fighter was good.
She's forgettable completely in this movie. Until she turned up, I thought, oh yeah, it's her, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, on this, so he's gone to see one of his friends, and then whilst he's kind of talking about her braces, about the kind of flirting with her, that he's going to work here now. He's decided, I want to be a doctor.
This is also
So-
creepy because he's playing
Yeah.
a 27-year-old, hitting on a 15-year-old, but really he's a 17-year-old. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just really weird. Or maybe
Yeah.
she's like 17. Hey, Jade.
But-
Hello.
Yeah, but we show a little bit of him doctoring a diploma.
Mhm.
And they give him the night job, the whatever things where of
Emergency room
babysitting.
supervisor.
And he does the roll call, but they're like, "You're gonna do this every day? What's going on?" And I do like this is how he gets his medical knowledge is from daytime
I mean,
TV.
in fairness, I think we all have gotten a lot of medical knowledge from TV shows.
I just
Grey's
like
Anatomy,
picked up a
right?
bit from
Everything
Scrubs
is
in my
lupus.
life. That
But yeah.
and everybody's an internet doctor, of course. We all
Yeah,
use
of course.
WebMD or
No,
just
yeah.
Google searches.
But yeah, so he gets in and gets a bit friendly. She gets her braces off. This bit moves quite quick. Whilst they're making out, she's a bit forward. He gets called to the ER, where of course he's just been supervising, and there's blood everywhere. And we get a little bit of the funny. Do you concur?
Mhm.
So do you concur?
Well, and
Why did I concur?
I love the little subtle joke of like that's obviously to be used for the wound. I believe those are possibly forceps or whatever they might be.
Yeah.
With the gauze, like that's obviously for the wound, but and it should be sterile. But he's not a doctor. He's not ready for this, so
Shoves it in his
he
mouth.
immediately just uses it to cover his mouth so he doesn't puke. I love that little subtle little bit there.
Well, so yeah, he runs straight off and pukes into the janitor's little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now in the book, it's a neighbor in the swingers place who is a doctor, and he befriends him, and he just absolutely needs to take time off. They're short staffed. They need someone just to supervise interns. And Frank couldn't help, saying, "Oh, well, I'm a doctor, but I'm only licensed in California. Sorry, I can't help you out." And the neighbor's like, "Oh, didn't you know that Georgia has a reciprocity with California? So come on over." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And he comes, he's like,
Crazy.
"Wait, all I have to do is supervise interns? I don't have to do it?" No, all you have to do is supervise. And allegedly in the book, he did it for months and just would do just that. He'd say, "Well, what would you do, doctor? And what would you do, doc?" He never had to make a decision because he would rely on whatever the interns
Right.
did, and nothing actually really happened. Like no bad things
Thankfully.
happened. And the girl, if I'm remembering correctly, it wasn't this girl who he allegedly falls in love with, and actually is, he's trying to get out of conning. He is trying to settle down allegedly to a normal life. In the book, it's actually a girl in France, the daughter of the
interesting.
guy who owns the print shop that he wants to settle down with, goes through the whole ruse, goes through the engagement. And I'll tell you how that one ends, kind of similar to how this one ends. But he finds out in this case that her parents threw her out because she had been pregnant and had terminated the pregnancy. And he said, "Well, what would your parents think of you, being engaged to a doctor? What does your father do?" "He's a lawyer." "Oh, I'm a lawyer too." He's a doctor and a lawyer. And I'm a Lutheran. He's a doctor, lawyer, and a Lutheran. Not a butcher.
It's a bit stupid. Like the lead up kind of things like that. We kind of get they find out kind of like by letter of like what apartment he's been staying up in Georgia. I can't remember even her name. What's her name?
Brenda.
Brenda, that's it. She admits that she's not a virgin, and she's had an abortion. An abortion, wasn't it? Was it an abortion? Yeah. So she's, and so she outs like, "You don't want to be with me," and he doesn't care because he's Frank Connors. So yeah, we get that, and he goes back to the homestead in New Orleans, where she's from, and where you get out little, very posh like that. So he's quite high up in the bar in things with
He's the
Martin
I
Sheen.
think he's the state prosecutor. So he's the head
Okay.
attorney for the Providence, or what do they call it? Parish. For the parish where he lives. He's they call them parishes in Louisiana. So he is the head prosecutor. That is kind of high up.
Yeah. So this is our second family. Then, as you said,
is it our first Martin Sheen? I thought we had another one of him.
No, Charlie Sheen and Martin. No, we have.
I know. Yeah, I know we have. This is our second.
We haven't had
family
Apocalypse
link.
Now.
No.
What else? What do you
didn't have anything else with him?
I don't think so.
I can't think. No, it must be. Yeah,
I can't think.
I'll
take a quick look, but I don't think so. But yeah, yes, our second family link. Another father and son too.
Yeah. But yeah, we go back, and then of course he's investigating his like apartment. Of course, he's scarpered, and they don't know where he is. So we get back, and then of course we get a bit back and forth, and this is where Martin Sheen's character, the dad, just tell me what you're here for. Ask me the question as a man, what are you here for? And he thinks he's like, gonna ask for his daughter's hand in marriage, and he's like, how do I pass the bar? Or whatever it is for Lee Razzie, because I'm also, as Sandy just said, I'm a Lutheran, I'm a lawyer, as well as a doctor, of course, like that. So yeah, it's how do I pass it? And it's like,
I'm going to tell you, as someone who spent 5 years in night school, law school, at the University of Baltimore, by the way, go Bumblebees, that's our mascot, who took the bar exam multiple times. You do not pass it on the first time, and you do not pass it if you didn't spend 5 years in law school. You don't. In the book, he claims he failed it the first time, and with his results, they sent him his papers back with the ones that were wrong, marked wrong. And then when he took it again, he had learned from his mistakes. That didn't how it happened when I took it. When you fail the next time you take it, it's a completely different test. So obviously, I don't buy this at all. And there's no record of him being an attorney at all. So in real life, this didn't happen. He may have just shammed his way into acting as an attorney, but he did not pass the bar exam.
But so then we get a bit of fast forwarding from the movie. From this bit is him TWA in with 1969, December 26. Not far away. Christmas isn't that far away. And then he's just, I can't remember what the conversation was. It's not about a dad, is it? It's about how did you pass the bar, isn't it? It's just
he wants to know. Yeah. What's his name?
One thing I couldn't figure out is how did you cheat and pass the bar? He's like, I'm not gonna let you know. But again, he's gets into the office, and lo and behold, who does he learn off? A very American TV.
Raymond Burr, Ironsides.
Yeah. Ironside. And then a little bit of a funny
that's
one.
Perry Mason. Perry Mason before Ironside. Yeah, Ironside was in color. Perry Mason was first.
And then he does a pre-trial like absolute mess up of he
tries the whole case in a pre-trial hearing when there's
nobody there.
Sir, it's just me, and there is no jury, son.
Yeah, are you absolutely lost it? And the judge has to go at him. Really, he's like, who are you talking to? There's nobody here. And it's just a little bit of fun. But then we get back to things. Now, what was this show? Is this an actual show? I'm guessing it was, or was it like a state show?
Oh God, I remember. What show was this though?
Nothing that I'm familiar with.
It was like the little sing along, wasn't it? They had like
Mitch Miller. Yes. Mitch Miller. Because they said, hey, Mitch is on. It was a sing-along show. It was kind of like Lawrence Welk was more of like the dancing and variety show. This was a sing-along variety show that I only know because my grandparents had all the albums from sing along with Mitch Miller, and it would come with a book of the words, and it was all these silly songs, like whatever they were singing with Kelly. We're all cheering for Kelly or whatever. It was all those kind of songs that you've never heard of before and will never hear of again. It was just family fun time. It was family fun around the television time.
But that's it. They have their little thing, and it actually then he's like looking at that he's. I'm guessing what they're trying to portray in the movie, that he's seeing his family within this family.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, I want to be within this family. He's missing family, let's say that. But yeah, so he's liking everything he sees about him. So he goes and meets his dad again, who's now, I'm guessing, a postal worker, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he's had to take a job.
Yeah. And again, it's like, I'm getting married, he's like, so just tell me to give it up again. And it's just like a little bit of back and forth, and then he's like that. But this time, this is when he tells him, your mum isn't, she's getting remarried. She's not answering my calls. I've got no hope. And he's like devastated, like, he wants his mum and dad back together. And his dad's telling him she's not having any word. She's marrying again. She's fighting. Divorce is gone. Yeah. And he's kind of devastated, kind of throws him off the edge a little bit more. And again, because it's round Christmas again, who's he got a call? Not Ghostbusters, but Hamratty. And this time they're expecting this call. So in the movie, you think this has happened every year. This is he's one call Christmas. Let's phone him. So he's phoning him at lonely at a bar, and he I think this is where he outs him of like, you're calling me because there's nobody else to call. And he laughs down the phone at him, like tries to get a one up of him, like saying, you're a bit of a loser. Look at you. You might be able to do manipulating of all this money, but you've got nobody. But yeah, so this is now we get that from Hanratty. He's now, I must say in this, I don't get how this connection really happened of like him turning up at, of course, the engagement party. But how did he make the connection from, is it Dr. Connors to that? Is it? Oh no, that was it, because he can't change his name, isn't it?
Because she knows.
Yeah, he mentions that he was engaged, and he picked up on that. And right,
that's it. Sorry,
also, I was curious. I wasn't sure if this was a thing or not, but I didn't know if he picked Connors specifically as also another comic book reference to Doc Connors, Kurt Connors from Spider-Man, the Lizard. I wasn't sure if that was another thing, because otherwise I couldn't understand where Connors came from. Because at least Williams came from his middle name. Well, I guess I don't know what Taylor came from either, now that you mentioned that. Because Barry Allen obviously was comics. I wasn't sure if Dr. Connors was also supposed to be that or not. But as a nerd, I couldn't help but wonder.
No. Just maybe off the cusp. But yeah. So all the engagement party is all nicely happening until Hanratty turns up and asks to see the mum and dad. Yeah, the things like that. And then he races upstairs, kind of realizes what's going on. The police are here, and unravels kind of suitcases,
just exploding with bills, just flying out of the suitcase.
I'm guessing there's supposed to be $100 bills as well, so it's showing, like millions and
At this point in time, he says 3 million. So he's gone from the 1.4 million to 3 million that he's swindled.
Yeah. And then of course, so we get like, where are they? They're upstairs. She kind of breaks down of realizing, you're not the man I know. Who the hell are you? And he kind of quickly explains, at this point in the movie, he does actually love her in the movie. So he kind of opens up like that, what's going on, but he needs to get out. But the plan is to meet me at the airport, and we'll
10
run
a.m.
away. We'll
at
run
the
away.
airport. Wait for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And take
And
a
yeah.
cab. And he goes over and over the plan, so she'll remember. She comes off as a little dim or ditzy, whatever you want to say. But boy, is Carl talking to the parents for an awful long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
And
an
no
awful long
backup on his own.
Yeah, no backup again. The backup's all over the place.
Yeah. So he gets there, of course, he's gone. And then the next morning, Frank turns up at the airport. He sees her across the thing. She's
They're
turned up.
trailing her, of
And
course.
they're like, she looks a state. Also, she looks an estate. Like, so he backs off, does the right thing, scarpers.
In the story in the book, by the way, as I mentioned, in the story in the book, the girl he loves is the girl in France with the father who's the printer. And a similar situation occurs, and he tells her everything because he loves her. He tells her everything. He says, hey, we're going to be fine. I have money stashed all around the country. By the way, I'm going to continue to help your father with his business. And she called the police and turned him in. So that's kind of what happens here, that, either she's cooperating or she was tailed. But they have so many men there. Obviously, she was probably cooperating. And in the book, he turns tail and he's on a bicycle. It's France. He's on a bicycle. He rides away, and here he's in the car, and he takes off.
And then he goes to a college. I hope it's a college to pick out prospects of being stewardesses. And the school, without notification, without a pre-booking, just allows him to do it.
Again, so in the real life story, he reached out to the school and said, has Pan Am been here yet? The whatever career counselor says, what do you mean has Pan Am been here? Well, you see from our again, this is a time when Pan Am was everywhere. Commercials are everywhere. The stewardesses look stylish. The pilots are, these are idols. These are American idols. And when he calls the school, they're thrilled that he calls, and he says, look, I've only got a few days. I'll give you a a sign-up sheet. I'd like to interview like 10 to 20 prospective stewardesses. And the guy calls him back and says, we posted word around and we have 300 who are interested. And that's how we get here. So allegedly that's what happened in real life.
But yeah, he picks out 10 women or whatever to things, and that's how he gets
them
through.
kitted out.
Yeah, gets them kitted out. How? Don't know. Doesn't care. And yeah, marches through, puts them in front, so they ignore him because he realized the FBI agent's gonna notice the pretty ladies.
They're looking at the pretty girls. Yep.
Yeah. And then whilst that's happening, there's a call of somebody matching his description who's sitting in the car. But it's now that he paid him $200 to sit in there with.
Kid.
Yeah, some kid. Yeah, just sit in the car. I mean, you can get the money. Yeah, away. Again, so they've completely lost him once again. Don't know what to do. Again, he's senior people all like, it's you again. It's just you. They keep losing him. But this time they take two old gentlemen who are I don't know if like they're just old printers. So they take the check that he's using now because it's so well done to the guy, and they realize it's from I can't remember the name of the machine, but it's a European machine.
And it's only in one village of villages in France.
Yeah.
And happens to be the village where his mom and grandmom are from, which doesn't gel with anything in the real story.
And there was only one person who wrote it down.
Yep.
That's what and they were like, did somebody write down the village that they and it was happened to things. So then we go to Montrechard in France, and again Christmas Eve. So every time it's around Christmas in this movie. So this time he's easily finds where he's things, and it's for Hollywood, paper going everywhere. Hanratty is like, don't worry, I'm not armed, but you've got to come with me. He finally succeeds in persuading him, like, you know, he gives him the cuffs, you know, come quietly. You got your time's up. Your time's up. You've lost the
time.
you've lost the love of your life. Nobody's gonna believe you. What are you doing? What are you doing? So he goes off, after discovering things, and of course goes out and he's like, "Are you alone?" Well, except for the French police,
Two
and they
police officers.
and they get a bit forceful, really, and they drag him, really drag him away, kind of things like that. And he's like, "Yeah, we'll get you back, But yeah, as Sandy said, the story's like what 5 months in the cell, so,
in a dungeon, and again, unreliable narrator, in a dungeon with no light, with no bedding, sleeping on a stone floor for 5 months, allegedly, subject to torture, allegedly. And he goes from there in his book. I won't say the true story, but in his book, he goes from there. The reason why he only serves 5 months is because every country in Europe and most around the world have cases pending against him, and they all want their shot at trying him and imprisoning him. So he ends up being released from France after 5 months to be tried in Sweden, and then ends up serving time in a Swedish jail. And this is what happens over and over again in the, real story / true story. In reality, he didn't serve that much time anywhere. He was actually in real life in prison in the United States during the 2-year time period that this movie was supposed to have taken place. So that casts doubt on, all of his shenanigans. Good for a movie, though. Good for film.
Yeah. So we get a time jump again of what we get at the start. He's now back on the plane, and this is where they're having a little discussion, and this is where Hanratty discloses, because he wants to, he's like, why aren't you letting me speak to my dad or whatever? Your dad passed away. That's it. Don't rip off that band-aid. And he goes, I feel sick. They're coming into land, and he runs. He goes, I need to get out. So they let him use the bathroom. It takes too much time. He's in there. They burst in, and he's gone. And the next scene we get, he's it's impossible. It would not happen. Like, he's got into the airframe.
Yeah,
and
he totally claims in his book that this really did happen. In his book, he says this really happened in real life. He did escape from this plane, by the way, but not this way. In real life, he ran to the galley when the plane landed, and then forced open the galley door and jumped from the plane, and then ran, allegedly.
Yeah, this one. And then we get him. Then the first thing he does is, how would he? I'm guessing he's in contact with his mum. He goes, to his mother's new house. This always reminded me, like, the house is always Home Alone. How it's decorated.
Does.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
It does. It feels like a bit of Home Alone. So he goes to the window, sees his mum with a new. Is it? Oh my god! If that's true, is it the Home Alone house? Daryl, is it?
Is
if
it
that
really,
is,
Daryl?
is it? That would have been great.
Because this was all filmed in California, by the way. This was not filmed in New York.
Would it?
It's all California,
be.
and the French scenes are filmed in Montreal.
Oh god! Someone have a look. Daryl, confirm that. Confirm it. Because that will be, that is extraordinary if that is it. So he looks in, and then of course he sees his half sister. We assume it looks like it, and they're the only people in the house.
It says it's not. It says the Home Alone house was only used in Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
Okay. There you go. But he's looking at his half sister, as well as for some reason, also the police have got every bit of police have realized to turn up as well to go and get him. Okay.
But this
And
also
I-
doesn't make sense because
No.
the events of this film take place over 2 years. His mom would not have like a 4-year-old after 2. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
She doesn't look
yeah.
2. She looks about
Mm.
4.
But yeah, so he gets thrown in jail, and then we get, I'm guessing, was it years later? I can't remember. Is it 6 months or 6 months later or something? I think they say that
It's
they have a
sometime
conversation.
later, but check fraud is on the steep rise in the United
Yeah.
States,
And
and it's not him. Remember the 2 guys that he was talking to who
Mhm.
were experts? They actually recommended to take a hard case to Frank to try to figure it out. And then that's how their relationship began. This is true. This part of the story
Mm.
is true. This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So he gets, and then interviews kind of things. And like, then they give him a job, working with the FBI. Everybody else is pissed off. If like, there's a ex-con here we put away. That's it. And then, you've got to work these are set hours and you've got to do it every day. And the work is piling up. He's never done real work at the end of the day. So he's like a bit of things, but a bit overwhelmed. Let's say that. And then we get, Hanratty again. He's, they're talking. Are you going to see what we haven't really alluded on? Hanratty is always talks about his daughter. And this is where, I'm going to, my daughter, like she's whatever, like I think he says like 4 or 5, all the way through that. So I'm not coming in tomorrow. It's Christmas Day, and that's it. And then he realizes, he's going to go again. So we do get to see a picture, but then Frank is off for his little jollies, and this is where Hanratty's, you know what? I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want, but I expect to see you back here on Monday morning. He admits that his daughter is 17 and she's in Hawaii like surfboarding or wherever, and hasn't seen her in like 10 years. They're can't say the word.
Estranged.
That's it. Thank you. From each other. But yeah. Okay, so it kind of makes sense as like why he's always alone on Christmas.
I want to say, great little bit of dialogue here too, because I like that exchange between the two of them, where he's like, "Oh, you lied to me. You said your daughter was 4," and and then Tom Hanks, Hanratty's character, explains, "Okay, I mean, she was 4 when she left. It's been a long time. We don't really, see each other much." And I love the little line of, sometimes the lie's easier to live. That. And I just thought it was, for what this movie is, I thought that was such a good way. A good kind of line to put right at the end of it to summarize kind of where Frank's character has always been, but also the little kind of bit of us that the little bit of Frank that I think a lot of people carry in them, where like sometimes it's, even if it's just kind of avoiding the pain of a harsh situation, like, being estranged with your daughter would be in Hanratty's case. It's easier to just tell people, the lie, because it's you don't have to peel back the layers on the onion every time you kind of talk about things. I just thought that was a really clever line and a really kind of thoughtful one.
Yeah, it's a good little back and forth. And then, what the next day is, it's past 10 o'clock and he's still waiting. And they go into like he goes into like a check fraud meeting or whatever. And then, of course, Frank turns up, takes the check off him, studies it, and then they kind of have a little discussion about the check, and then we just go into pan out, everybody's working, and then we get some of the movie to say it's a true life. So we get kind of he's been married for 26 years, and that is so he lives in the Midwest quietly. Released from prison in 1974.
Excuse me. So now I'm curious about this, because the other one, after this release from prison, blah blah blah, and all that helped capture all these guys. you know, I think the next text screen said something about him and Carl remaining friends for all these years.
Yeah, we get we
Oh,
get
perfect.
designing things. We go for it like Fortune 500s, and then we get he still does it, and then we get
Not
Davis.
really.
Yeah, so like now I'm wondering, I'm like, is this
Not
true? Because it's not
really.
even Carl, because the guy's name wasn't even Carl in the first place. So
And the date when it says he's worked with the FBI for since 1974, that's not correct. He didn't. This makes it seem like he straightened out his life from this point, and he didn't. He continued to impersonate airline pilots. He went back to jail. He committed other forgeries and false, lots of
really,
scams. There's another book. I wish I had some time before. It would have gone on and on, but there's a book called The Greatest Hoax on Earth, Catching the Truth by Alan C. Logan, just published in 2020. I think I want to read that book. He's the one who's trying to debunk what Abagnale wrote in Catch Me If You
So
Can.
what I got is Logan got a statement, and Abagnale, the real one, and said 60 to 80% of his book was real. And then Logan has proven it's probably more like 20%.
10 or 20% is real.
Yeah, it's literally because of the time scale. This is I'm gonna say it. This is the time scales of when he was in prison, and the time sets is not real. So in Logan's mind, and this is what you kind of believe, because he's got court documentation, prison stuff now. It's all being released. And all things, and like past history is let's go from the start. Apparently he didn't have a relationship with his dad.
No.
So
really?
He was mad that they divorced. He was mad that they divorced.
So apparently they didn't have he was always working, so he didn't have a really relationship, and afterwards no contact. Hanratty, that we've always said, is Shabe. Was it Shabe or Shabe? Yeah. Never met him until his arrest, and then when he got arrested, they didn't meet up till 20 years later.
Oh, really?
So they had a brief
at a convention. Yeah.
So they had a brief moment. He only there's no proof that he ever got on a airline, because apparently he impersonated impersonated pilots in the public,
in
like
the
bars,
banks and the hotels.
Yeah, like that. So there's no things that he actually went to any airport. And doctors, exactly the same. He never went to be a doctor. He just in society, I'm Dr. such and such, like he introduced himself. And the lawyer bit is completely fabricated by him. Absolutely never happened. Never went to New Orleans, never served on the bar. Absolutely made up. 100% complete lies. They know that because he was in prison and he never took the bar. There would be some documentation, of that person. So it's a bit of a lie, like that. But you're looking at
what do you expect from this guy at the same time? You know what I mean? It's like, and that's one of the reasons why and I remember when I found it, because this is all starting to sound familiar again from when I did a deep dive into him years ago to find out what the true story was. And I remember just being so disappointed with how far off it was from the movie. And it's one of the reasons why I don't care that this movie embellishes, because it's about a professional embellisher. It's about a professional con artist liar.
I would rather
to be true, the whole thing.
I would rather this movie be like an Ocean's 11.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
it goes all over top, because I like
that's a fair point.
I like the movie more than what Sally said about the true story. I don't care. It's bullshit. But I like the movie because it takes me on this journey of fabrication. It makes me, look at this guy, because he makes him.
He's a step ahead. It's clever. He's cool. Yeah, it does all. I think Ocean's 11 is a great thing to point to. It does like all this. It has that same kind of vibe of just that the guy who's just not even just playing chess while you're playing checkers. It's 3D chess. He's 1,000 moves ahead of you. Like that whole fun kind of storytelling.
That's it. Because when you saw I saw the real guy, I was like, in this, he's suave, he's sophisticated, he's Leo DiCaprio, he's good looking. Like celebrities, you got like Brad Pitt and George Clooney when they were at their hype of women love them. I can believe that story. He's getting all the ladies. He's suave. He thinks the real one. I'm not saying he
He's
wasn't
not.
that good looking. He's not good looking. I'm
No
like,
Leo, huh?
yeah. So when you're looking at, you're like, I don't believe it. And then it's just that, like, and then you realize, well, you got nicked straight away. Like he did a little, he's a small time crook. Got nicked. Did some time. Made up stories. Did some more time, and then I think he's like, if you had the thing, it's like one of them things like. People start to believe their own lies. And then he was like, you know what? I can do a story. And he did this great book. And
and what he can say for everyone who denies his claims, what he says is, oh, they just don't want to admit that I duped them. Right. The FBI doesn't want to admit that they missed me so often. The airlines don't want to admit that I flew on their planes. The bar doesn't want to admit that I practiced law without their authority. The hospital doesn't want to admit. So that's his excuse for all of these tall tales, is that
being behind bars and there's no way you could have got out. Like that. And that's it. Like you can have the everybody like who corroborates, well, decorroborates, I suppose, like that his story is. Everybody's like, no, that never happened. Like he never had that relationship with that person. You know, this is fabricated. Like we're saying, like person in like France or I can believe that. I can believe that he had somebody way away, not somebody close to could like who like at the end of the day. Martin Sheen seems a bit high society like that. You know, kind of on the cusp at least. You know, it's just a fabrication. Do I care? I do not care. It pisses me off because I think I did this probably like Jay said, you did it last time. You go, oh, I want to know about the guy. And I only looked up again because I was like, oh, last time I watched it, I bet they're dead. And like the FBI agent, yes, he died a while ago. And what's saying he's still alive. Fair play to him. He's made more money doing security kind of aspects for banks at that time. Owns a firm. Okay, well done. Crime pays. The only aspect of this movie I don't like is because you like Leo and Tom. It's one of them Hollywood movies that we see where this crime does pay. You do crime, it pays out at the end.
Yeah.
What is it? It's a bit bad. Do I care? I don't. I like the movie. I think it's a fun. I enjoy it, and that's the greatness of this. You know what? I enjoy it, and I like that this is on that because movie. It's not Oscars as we say. It's not going to. I would say it's not as clever as Oceans, but it's a good caper. It's a good little fun little ride.
It was a great introductory into the world of clever movies and caper stories or bank heists, that kind of thing. For me at least, as somebody who it kind of was my introduction, because from there I watched Ocean's 11, unfortunately Ocean's 12, and more and more of the Inside Man with Clive Owen and Denzel Washington. Like then I started really get Italian job. Unfortunately I saw the Mark Wahlberg one back then, but. So it was a great introductory coming from being a kid who was into, your blockbuster movies, your Spider-Mans, your this, your that, your Star Wars, into, now I can actually watch, adult. I don't mean to say adult in terms of like, it's not like I was watching There Will Be Blood or anything like that, but this was like, more adult kind of style of movie where you're getting out of some of the stuff that I hate to say is for kids, because I think it's silly to say blockbusters are for younger audiences, or, superheroes are only for kids, or Transformers, whatever it may be. But that, that kind of, I don't know what to call it. Cause I like I said, I hate, as a nerd, I always hate when people, you watch superhero movies. Isn't that for kids? Like, I hate that kind of stigma that goes with them, but it is definitely a shift from being a kid who only watched those movies to coming into this style of storytelling. I guess that's the way I'd like to put it.
Yeah. I think it's, I must say, I'm gonna go first if that's okay with my spot.
I think you already did a great job. Absolutely,
I did. I'm gonna go that like before we get into loving. I think I still like this movie. I'm gonna recommend it every time. I think it's a good come back to movie because it's a very fast ride. It's actually quite a long movie to the aspect of it. I think everybody's nails it. I think the only person I'm gonna actually say it because I don't think she's utilized it is Amy Adams. Her role is too small to be utilized, but she's a main like anchor for the capture, I suppose, like that.
Mhm.
Christopher Walken's being Christopher. I like the mum. I've never seen her in anything else. I couldn't even name the actress. Everybody around it, Leo is great in it. I think he plays the roles of the younger and the older really good. I'm gonna actually nick what Abe said. It's an enjoyable movie. I'm gonna give it 7. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Nice.
I think I mean that is like it's hard, it's good, it's a good solid. And I mean, because 8 is like, oh, that's good. That is good.
Right.
I don't think I can give it any less because it's not one of those movies that I'm like, if it came on, I wouldn't watch it. I would watch it. And I think that I think it's just enjoyable. It's like a Spielberg kind of feel to the movie. I can watch it when I want to watch it, and I'm going to enjoy it when I watch it. So highly recommended. It's a great one to have on for 2002. Yeah, I watched it later. Hanks is good in it, but I don't think Hanks needs to be in it.
I don't think his accent needed to be in it.
No,
You could have given me Hanks without,
Yeah.
especially now knowing how made up that character of Kyle Hanratty is. Why make him up and then give him this Boston accent? He could have just
That
had
was
Tom
silly.
Hanks' normal voice.
Yeah. But I get the role of Leo playing the two younger and older because he's got that baby face. I'm guessing it's Spielberg. You've got John Williams and Tom Hanks. The money like that, like he's got that book. Do you want a minute? You're in this movie. You're in this movie. That's it. Yeah. So
and nice score too from John Williams.
Yeah,
it's nothing iconic, but it's a nice little. Oh, what really?
Win,
okay,
but nominated for an Oscar.
Not iconic, but really nice.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love watching this movie, and that is the fun of the movie. So thank you, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right.
Cindy, would you like to go? Because I think being my movie, I'm sure everybody knows I liked it.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, right.
But let's just recap some of the important notes here. The film, this is a 2002 film based on the 1982 book of the same name. Now, it wasn't just written by Frank Abagnale Jr. It was also written by Stan Redding, who obviously didn't care about the facts either. The screenplay
or just believed Frank too much. One of the
seriously. And directed by Steven Spielberg, of course. But yeah, you have to. I think I wish I hadn't read the book, and I wish I hadn't delved, or dug into the reality, because I think it made me think too hard about the film, which I still think is fun. As I mentioned, filmed in California, New York, and Montreal, not filmed in France. And the parts in New York,
go Habs.
Yeah, very few parts filmed outside of California. We mentioned all of the actors and actresses in this film, and now let's talk about how it did at the box office. Now, I don't think we've had a film from 2002 yet this year, but I want to see if you notice anything. Let's skip down to it was number 11. It was the number 11 top grossing film of the year. It made money. Look at that list of the top 5. Do you see anything common in that list of the top 5?
That directly speaks to kind of what I was talking about of the time for me at this era. It was a big blockbuster era. This was when I was, me and all the kids my age were into all these things. Your Spider-Man, your Star Wars, Harry Potter. So this was.
Sorry, Sandy. I'm going to say it's 2002, not 22.
Oh,
we don't get the movie in 22.
But that also actually leads me to what I actually wanted to hone in on is Lord of the Rings 2, Harry Potter 2, Spider-Man, Star Wars. What was Attack of the Clones? 2. Men in Black 2. It was the year of the 2, and I'm sorry, I made the mistake with 2022.
There you go.
4 of the top 5 were the number 2 films in a series, and then good old Spider-Man. But Jay, exactly. You could go to the theater and not even think about what you were going to see because you knew there was something you wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
You knew you could have your pick. And for someone of your age at the time, or my age as a little older adult at the time, you had your pick. And you couldn't go wrong with, well, actually, my least favorite Harry Potter is Chamber of Secrets, but Spider-Man is one of my favorite films, just my favorite films. Just it just
it's fantastic.
is. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, I go back and forth as to which one is my favorite. I think I'm starting to lean toward Return of the King. They're all my favorite. We've already talked about it. Men in Black 2, you know,
It's,
not
fine, fun sequel,
it's okay.
Yeah.
But this film definitely made money. For $52 million in budget, it 7 times its budget. This was a super successful year for films, by the way, because this film landed at number 11. All the films before it made more. You know, they 10 times their budget. I mentioned the Oscar nominations. Christopher Walken was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and John Williams for Original Score. They didn't win, but Walken did win the BAFTA for Best Supporting Actor for this role. Unbelievable. And my little note at the end, both the book and the film are only very, very loosely based on the actual events.
Whatever the actual events even are.
If I would have to recommend something, recommend the movie. Don't do the book.
Don't read the book.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I leave it. Yeah, I always just I'm like, just watch the movie. I never really say like, oh, and then look, like, because there's some where we'll talk about, you know, even on Film Club where we watch it. It's like when you look at the real stuff, it's even better than the movie sometimes. I mean, you know, that's always the thing. This is one where I'm like, yeah, just watch the movie. You don't have to
how many times
we search after.
But how many times we've seen the historical kind of, or this kind of movie, and we said, oh, it was so great to kind of research it and then find out.
Right.
I've got to pull the book.
This is like the opposite.
And this is like
the opposite.
This is where you're like, you know what? Hollywood embellishing is actually totally fine.
Yeah,
totally fine.
Especially for me to say, don't read the book. That's like I'm going to get struck by lightning. Exactly.
And I think when it's a topic like this, where like we don't even really truly know what the truth is anyways, there's no point in trying to go search for it. Like to find the historical inaccuracies in this is almost impossible because you don't with how much this guy lied, you don't really know what the accuracies are in the first place outside of some of the factual things, like he was in jail at this time, so we know that couldn't have been true.
You're not
there's
breaking,
just no way to know.
You're not breaking a historical truth that is going to impact the world later.
Right.
Exactly.
Because it's barely a truth the world even knows, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not going to have a historical impact that you go, whatever.
So I'll start with my, I give a letter grade for historical accuracy. I give this a D- for historic accuracy, but that is also dependent on the fact that there is the most unreliable of unreliable narrators. Exactly, Daryl. Exactly, Daryl. You can't believe a con man. As far as the book, it is a well-written, concise book, which I like. I don't like fluff. It's about an 8-hour audiobook. And the one thing that bothered me, there are a few books that I really like the subject, but then the narrator mispronounces a few words that just grate on me. One of those is, there's a fantastic book about Warren Buffett called The Snowball. And it's incredibly well researched. It's a heavy book, but you can't put it down. But the narrator mispronounces a few words that I know for sure she's mispronouncing, and it just really annoys me. And in this one, he mispronounces a few places in the United States, by the way. So the expressway in New York around the city, like around LaGuardia, isn't that called the Van Wyck? I've always heard it called the Van Wyck, and they call it the Van Wyck, and it was on my nerves. So anyway, so those few mispronunciations just get them, or mispronunciations get on my nerves. So I give the book a 5.
You've been saying routing, you two.
It's routing.
You guys flip flop when it's that woman's last name versus when we say it. That's not. You guys just make it up as you go. You guys just always want to tell us we're wrong.
Exactly. And we could go to like the word through and the word cough. Hello.
Right.
Though, through.
OU makes a sound.
OU is great. I'm for that one. So I give the book a 5. The film I give a 6.5. And for all the reasons we've talked about,
Mhm.
I particularly, I like the style of this film. I
Mhm.
like that it's
Mhm.
in that late 60s cool art. There's an architectural style to it, a graphic style. It's all those um, non-primary colors. It's those muted colors with sharp lines and crisp lines. I'm gonna have to look up like what is that style. Um, but what it's trying to do, it's a slight evolution from Art Deco of like the 1920s and 30s.
Mm.
This is reflected in the 1960s, but in a different way by adding color. And it's also a little bit of, the animation style there. The graphic design is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's like Art Deco pop art mixed.
It's kind of like Poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
Poppy Deco. I'm gonna look it up and find
Ooh,
out.
Poppy Deco. I like that. You just made up a new art form. I like
I've
it.
just named it I was looking at my flowers the other
Copyrighted
day.
Sandy Q.
It is. I was looking at my flowers and I was trying to write down the ones that I really like so I buy them again next year, my annuals. And I was writing down all the names and I was trying to remember the name of one of the roses. And now Poppy Deco. It should be Poppy Deco. Um, but I do recommend this film. I recommend it wholeheartedly without reading the book, and don't do too much research into the real story. Just enjoy the film. Just have a good time
Mm.
with this film. On
I
to
agree.
you, Jay.
Yeah, your pick.
I'll keep it short here because I went on a very long-winded response to start the show with why it was my pick. I love this movie. I think it's phenomenal. There's a lot of reasons why it matters to me, or why I love it. That are just nostalgic, like I mentioned earlier. It reminds me of my uncle and when he showed it to me. It also represents, along with Goodfellas, kind of a change in the films I was watching at that age to kind of get to a more. It's one of the standout ones, I should say, along with Goodfellas, that I recall being something that kind of got me from some, more kid-based movies or just kind of light watch movies to getting to understanding more adult level storytelling. So for those reasons, I love it. But again, just from a film aspect, I love it for a lot of what you guys just mentioned. I think the story's super interesting. I'm totally fine with the embellishments that Hollywood puts on this one. Again, like we said, because who knows what the true story really is when we're talking about a story told from a professional con artist. So I'm fine with all the embellishments they make. I think for me, this watch through it, coming with it from the viewpoint of analyzing it to give it a grade for the show today, I think what caught me the most this viewing was just how they undercut some of the cleverness of the film and the kind of the points of it, like we spoke about with the hotel room scene and just some other ones where like they've got a really clever concept in a portion of a scene, but it's just kind of undercut by things that feel too convenient or too kind of like, oh yeah, that was set up just so that you could get to this spot to do this portion. So some of those things brought it down a little bit from where I probably would have had it, maybe 10, 15 years ago when I was watching it. Again, not enough to ruin the movie. I'd probably take it from where I might have had it at maybe like an 8 a while ago to I probably settle on about a 7.5 now. Those reasons being part of it. Also, just I think maybe a little bit too long. I do think it flows well, but I did feel like this watch through, I'm like, wow, this movie does kind of. I think some of those last ditch escape attempts, the kind of the nonstop ones when it's coming through the landing gear of the plane, and then those even to the end where he's like the standoff a little bit with Carl, the Hanratty character, where it's like, I'm gonna let you go, I know you'll be back Monday. It's just some of those last few attempts just felt a little too forced, and like it's like, all right, maybe you could have just cut that portion out. I don't think we needed the plane one with the going to his mother and all that. Those little bits like that, I think he could have cut out. Even some of the kind of final scene in France with him and Carl in the printing warehouse, whatever it was, goes on just a little bit too long, I think. I think you could trim it a little bit just to make it a little bit more efficient and a little shorter of a watch. I think it comes in around like 2 hours, 20 minutes or something like that. So maybe if you got it down to 2:15, 2:10, something like that, I think it would have felt a little bit better. But that was really it. A little bit of too coincidental writing, too much of coincidental writing, and a little too long in areas brought it down from probably, like I said, the 8 I used to have it at. to a really good 7.5. I love it. I recommend it. I think the actors do great. Directing, all that stuff's great about it. I won't rehash all that we've already gone over. So yeah, big recommend. I watch it, or a portion of it at least, just about any time it's on, and I scroll by it.
Yeah.
This was the first time I actually sat down and fully watched it in maybe like 4 or 5 years. So that was really great. I'm glad it came up on the wheel to finally give it that kind of viewing versus just, a 20-minute chunk before commercials, and then I go off to do something else. So yeah, I'm happy the wheel picked it up. I hope everybody enjoyed watching it. And if you are joining in at the end of the stream here and you haven't watched it, I recommend checking it out.
Oh yeah,
Great
if you haven't
recommendation,
watched,
Jay.
it does.
one.
If you've
Thank
never
you, thank
seen this, go and watch it. It is a
Mhm.
good, it's a good fun movie, isn't it? It is just it's there. And don't Google. Do not
Yeah,
do that.
just leave it at, let your imagination enjoy the story.
Yeah,
honestly.
because it's more fun just
Mhm. And
imagining
it's just
this
not
guy.
very consequential
Just
to
forget.
not
No.
it's not consequential to not
agree.
know the truth of what it is. Again, partly because no one will ever truly know the truth because the guy was a professional liar. But in general, it's just not it's not consequential. It's not a big thing. So it's like, who cares? Just enjoy the story and move on.
Indeed. Exactly. Where we go. We're round about the same page on this, kind of all like a couple of points, but not somebody goes,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I mean,
I don't hate it.
Within a point, right?
Yeah, that's it,
7.5, 7 and a 6.5. So within a point, that's a close one.
That's it. Now I'm gonna have to ask you, Jay, because did you watch? Because you wasn't here.
Yeah, so I unfortunately bit of a busy week, so I did not get the chance to tune into the end of the stream or any part of the stream last week to check the movie for this upcoming one. So I don't know.
Okay, but did you watch Casualties of War? Did you?
I started it and then got kind of pulled away.
Okay, got it. Okay,
last week.
Okay, that's fine. Now next week,
I do want to go back and finish it though, because the beginning of I watched probably the first half hour and I was really getting into it. So I do want to kind of go back and finish it.
Sandy will agree. It turns at that point, but it is good.
Okay.
Like we both
Fair
agreed,
enough.
it has to be a thing, but it turns into whoa, this is extreme. And we both said it's very Michael J.
Yeah.
You have to be ready. Michael J.
I really want to go back and finish it.
Yeah, you do, because you're like, oh, it's a very first 20 minutes, 30 minutes is like a Vietnam movie. Then it takes into, whoa, okay, we're going in. It's different, but it's different.
Interesting.
And I think me and Sandy, we both agree, it's a story that needs to be told.
It does.
And that's it. It's hard to go, okay.
Okay.
It's really hard, but you go into, like from watching a Vietnam movie, from I need to pay attention or what, and then some of it you're like, I can't. It's hard to watch, but I need to watch.
Okay, interesting.
And it's great. So yeah, watch it. We both gave it the kind of same scores. So I think we both get quite high up, didn't we? Like 7s-ish. I think it was.
I think I gave it a 7. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to go back and listen. We haven't done the older record. What references?
Go back to my list. I gave it a 6, but I gave it a good. You gave it a 7. I gave it a 6.
Now it's quite good that you didn't see the will, did you?
No, I have no idea what's up.
Oh,
this is great,
all right,
because this actually works out well. So what we're gonna do from now on is we're going to do the trailer of the movie we're gonna watch next week.
Cool.
So I've got it ready, and then we're gonna do the will, and if I can find it. So this is actually This actually worked out well. So guys, I'm not gonna even mention the movie until Jay sees it, because I think it's gonna be. So Jay, you're gonna watch a trailer, and this is the movie for next week. So let's get this all ready. And anybody who didn't see it, you're gonna watch a nice little trailer. I had to go to a different non-normal source, so I will give them a shout out for finding an English version of the trailer, but let's share this quickly, and then we're gonna go full screen.
Nice.
Here we go. Let me know if you can hear it. It's okay once the music starts.
Yes. Yep, I hear it.
It was 1764 after the year of our Lord, when it appeared from the forest of Gévaudan. It was feared no mortal could ever free us from the sharp grip of the beast. And then, at the darkest hour, the king sent 2 men.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey, Jay,
I've
what do you
never heard of that one in my life.
Me either.
That's a brand new one to me.
And I have to give it out to the French channel, French on film, because I couldn't find an actual good thing. So that is, I've got it here. Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so kind of and I like it because I said to Sandy earlier, it's kind of a fantasy horror movie set in the 18th century, and it's Halloween season. So we kind of got so it kind of works.
It's already October. What the hell just happened?
So we got that. It's a little bit different, and yeah, it's got some good cast in it. Basically, I forgot her name. Monique. Oh, Sandy, have a look. What's her name? Monique.
I don't know. Hang on.
Bushian. Oh, she's the one everybody fancies. It's one like the Italian everybody fancies, but it's in French.
2001. I thought this looked like it was around the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, there we go. 2002, 2001. So there we go. So there we go. So yeah, it's
Monica Bellucci.
That's it. Bellucci. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, she's the one everybody's like, ooh. This is where she met her husband.
Vincent Castle. I thought I looked familiar. Yeah. Okay.
So it's quite interesting because you'll see actors that you will know from Hollywood, and they will speak in fluent French. Like that. I recommend the subtitles, but
is this this is in French? Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it's a French movie. Yeah, so yeah,
but she was in Twin Peaks. She was in Twin Peaks in one episode.
But also, it's not a bad dubbing. And I'm going to say that it's not bad. They've actually done, and they actually did it right than Netflix does. Let's say that. So I would always recommend subtitles, but the dubbing is actually not bad. Now, if I had to say it, it's like probably something you've not watched. What's it called? Dog Soldiers. 18th century and Sleepy Hollow.
Don't know that one.
No,
but I do know Sleepy Hollow.
Right.
Okay. It's a mixture of that. I think you're gonna like it. I think it's a good little offset. It's a little bit of adventure, a little bit of action, a little bit of mystery. Yeah, and the costume design.
She's in the Matrix too. She's in the Matrix Reloaded and Revolution. She's Persephone in the Matrixes, the sequels, and she's in the Passion of the Christ. She's Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, and she did. What's it? She was famous for a Second World War movie, and I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. That's where she got her sex symbol from. And I can't remember what it is. That's it. But that's it. So there you go. So
awesome.
A little bit of fun. So yeah, Brotherhood of the Wolf. So yeah, a little bit of fun, and I adore it. I adore it. It's one of those ones you're like, I like that, and I was surprised. You know, like not a lot of people. I think Daryl said, and I have to hopefully his last time he said you can get it free on YouTube.
Oh, maybe.
So, yeah. So hopefully that might be good. It might be a harder movie to find. But on that, and this is things. Let's go for the will. The will.
Yes.
There we go.
So Jay, I told James something earlier this week. I'm in a business meeting, and we're talking about particular opportunities in the coming year.
Mhm.
And this wheel appears in front of me,
Oh, no kidding.
the huge meeting room with all the executives of my company, to kind of make a point about here's everything that's before us. And there were like, it was even more than what's on our wheel. It was like 500 things on the wheel.
Mhm.
And I quickly had to text James and say, guess what I just saw in a
That's
business
awesome.
meeting? And I was expecting a film to pop up. And
Right?
it was a contract that popped up.
That's awesome.
Oh, what we got this week?
Ugh.
Oh. But let's do it. I think, Sandy, when's the last movie you had?
I haven't
I
had
think you've gone
one
a
in
bit
a
dry, haven't you?
I've been doing some pretty good catch up lately.
It was
I
me
think
that
you have.
then you were like, I think it was JJ, me,
Jay
me
again, yep.
Yeah, I think that's been it. So I think you've not had many months. Let's do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Crouching Tiger,
5.
Hidden Dragon.
Why not?
That's a good trailer too. Woo!
There you go. It's gonna be your it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be like your or Jay's hate it pick, isn't it?
Could be.
But now
I
you've
don't
got
even
2.
know what I'll pick for that, honestly.
Well, Sandy's now got 2: Titanic or Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
It's
that's
gonna
true.
be Titanic.
Oh,
It's gonna be Titanic.
I don't know what. I'm. This is kind of a side note. I just saw Wally's on the list. I'm glad that's on there because I've never seen Wally, and
I
I
hate
just
that
started
film.
watching it the other day.
I hate that.
Wally.
We're gonna
I
have.
was liking.
we're gonna
I
have
watched
some
like the first 20
disagreement about
minutes. I was.
Wall-E.
I can guarantee me and Jay are gonna love it then because I like it.
I was liking the
That's my
first 20
pick.
minutes. I got to go back and finish it.
Wally. I think you hate that movie.
Because he's a whiny robot.
It's a robot. That's supposed to be cute.
He seems like a little scared robot from what I've gathered so far.
Get a grip.
yeah.
A lonely
he's
little
on his
scared
own.
robot.
Toughen up.
Right, then if I'm gonna piss you both off, if we get animated, it's mine. I'm gonna pick that. What was it called? That weird one.
Hannah's.
Yeah, what was it called?
Grave of
Oh,
the Fireflies?
The
geez.
Grave or
Does that sound right?
something.
The two
And I was
Firefly
like-
Graves.
Grave
And
of
I
the
was like,
Fireflies?
what is he on about? I looked at it. It's got like a 9.2.
Well,
or
so
what.
funny
And
you
I'm
say
like,
that. Like a
He
few
has
weeks after that,
discerning
I kept
taste.
hearing people
Yep.
promote that
Praising
one
it,
and be like,
really,
"Dude,
it's
this
like-
movie's really good." So I actually meant to just
Yeah.
circle back and watch it in general because a lot of people were
Yeah,
hyping that one up.
I was like, well, he might know something about Except for I did know what I went down his rabbit hole of watching One Piece.
Yeah, it's never ending.
Never
like
ending.
1,000 episodes. It's never.
Oh, I don't know. I'm like, where am I? I don't even like. He did the as I think Jay knows, did
Mhm.
an Excel spreadsheet for me. That was
Yep.
good. I like that. I
And
was
he's
like,
good about cutting out all the fluff episodes or the filler episodes that you don't
Mhm.
Yeah.
need, and then it's still
And I'm
like 900
and
episodes.
I'm still like, oh wow, what is going on? I don't. I've like, it's like just kept on going, and it's like that. But yeah, I will not even be a quarter through that movie when season 2 of the live action comes out on
Mhm.
Netflix.
Oh yeah, there's just
Guaranteed,
so much.
100%.
I remember trying to start it after the live action came out, and man, I think I had been watching it for like 3 or 4 days of like giving a good effort, like crushing episodes.
Yeah,
And I wasn't even like 2 episodes into what the live action was telling story. It literally took like 60 episodes. Not all right, that's an exaggeration, but it took a good like
It probably
felt
did,
like
yeah.
10 to
It
15
probably is like
episodes
60
Yeah,
or
to
it
get
40.
to
probably is,
where
yeah.
like episode 2 was in the series. I'm like, Jesus, the live action series. I'm like,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it
just
was
like,
just too
I did
much.
exactly. So I went, hold it.
it was
where
good.
am
I
I?
enjoyed it. Just
Where
too
I
much.
am,
I don't
yeah.
have the time.
Yeah, that's it.
So let
All
me. I did pull up the sheet. So it's going backward from today. It's J, James, me. I had The Fugitive.
Oh,
Oh
that's-
yes,
okay.
yes, of course. yeah.
J, James, J, James, me. So that's
All right.
how.
Okay.
So,
That's
So
how
we
it
kind
goes.
of
So it's
equal-
actually
kind of
really
equal.
even.
Yeah, kind of even at the moment.
It's
like that.
quite even.
All right, so it's going to be a partner's pick.
Because I had the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so it was really me, because it was the
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah,
Yes.
fair enough.
There we go. All right, we're ready then.
We
I'm
are
ready.
so
Let's
ready.
get Spider-Man. I see Spider-Man there. We were just talking about it. Let's
That
get
would be
that one.
so
That'd be a fun one.
awesome.
There we go. All right, spin the wheel. We've been ordered. Daryl, we're doing
Daryl's
it.
getting
5,
impatient on us.
4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Until we check out the colors. I think it's me. I think it's me. Oh no!
Yes!
Oh,
We said
look
it
at that.
earlier.
We were just
We
talking
said
about
it
it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So I have, believe it or not, even with this being right at the era for
Jay.
my age group, I've never seen.
You're
this
gonna say
movie.
you didn't watch it?
Oh,
I never watched the Night at the
my
Museum movies. I was
gosh.
never interested as a kid. I was
Jay,
for
you're gonna
whatever
love it.
reason I wasn't
Jay.
interested. Yeah,
Oh
this will
my
be fun.
gosh.
This will be a lot of fun. This will be
I'm
kind of
so
going back to my
excited.
childhood and catching something I missed.
2006.
I was already starting
This was huge when I was a kid. I just
Oh,
never. I
yeah.
was never interested.
I've already started my speech about Teddy Roosevelt. We just had
There
a
we
little
go.
preview today.
That'll be a fun one.
I'm so excited. I am just excited. We are not going to watch the sequels. They do go down in quality. But the original is an instant classic. And the soundtrack. I'm just going to say that. So Jay, you didn't see it. Do you like Earth, Wind and Fire? Is the question.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the next person, I'm not the biggest. Like, I'm not. I don't know all their discography and all that, but yeah, a lot of their hits, all good.
When you watch the film, you're gonna want to get up and dance. I'm just saying, you're gonna want to get up and dance. So,
oh my god,
I love the Wheel of Film. Fantastic.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna do what we said. Let's remove that. Let's share that.
And Daryl, when the third film was released, it was literally 2 weeks after he passed away, and I did see it in the theater. And similar to Downton, when they put up this film is dedicated to Dame Maggie, and they put up this film is dedicated to Robin Williams. Oh, the whole place just burst out crying. It just just did. But if ever a man were meant to play Teddy Roosevelt, it was Robin Williams for sure.
All right. Well, on that note, are we ready to let's do the trailer?
Yes.
Do it.
I'm Larry Daly. I've got a job interview with Cecil Fredericks.
Let me point you in the right direction.
Great. Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes,
He was our 4th president, right?
26.
26th.
This is the kid who wants to be the new night guard.
He looks like a weirdie.
I'll give you a little tour. This is the diorama room.
I remember these little guys.
On the left there is your Attila the Hun. And this is the Hall of African Mammals.
Guy's cute.
He's quite a little ball of fun, aren't you, Dexter? It can get a little spooky around here at night, so you might want to put a few lights on. And the most important thing of all to remember, don't let anything in or out.
Out. Everything in this museum comes to life at night.
It's freaking awesome. This is a museum. I cannot tolerate this type of chaos.
Oh my God.
Can I have this, please?
Fire up the Iron Horse, boys.
Oh! For crying out loud!
Come to work with me tonight. You won't be disappointed. This is where's 11:15 hour?
So in that trailer, you saw so many actors that we have seen in so many other films. So one in particular, the little boy, I know you only saw a smidge, little boy. That is from Superman. That's Jimmy Olsen from the most recent Superman.
What?
film.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch it. Wow.
Yeah, he's in the all 3 of the
I
Night
think
at
he's a
the
great
Museum
actor.
films.
Wow.
And then you've also got the old. So you saw the 3 old gentlemen there who they know the
Dick Van
secret.
Dyke.
We know Dick Van Dyke, but
99.
one of the lesser known has been in one of our film, Bill Cobbs. Let's see, where was Bill Cobbs? I'm going to look him up on our actor list here because I've been noting all of the actors who are from Night at the Museum on our list. So Bill Cobbs was in Demolition Man. Oh, he's the old kindly guy.
Yes, he's the old
The
actor.
kindly officer in Demolition Man.
Oh, okay.
He's passed. Oh.
Yeah. So Ricky Gervais, Ben Stiller, and then we have Owen
Steve
Wilson,
Coogan.
who
that's a repeat.
we've had in Wedding Crashers. We're
We've
also
had Steve Coogan before. No, we not had
yes,
Steve
we
Coogan.
have not had Steve Coogan before, but we're going to have Steve Coogan in this one for sure. And I love the Wheel of Film. I sure.
Yeah,
how weird is that?
had
Because
Ben
we were
Stiller
talking
yet.
about it. That is weird. That is that's it. Yeah. So we've got kind of a little bit with the Mummy. I'm guessing we could say Mummy Halloween October
Is.
week. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
It
count
is a
that.
little
I'm gonna
spooky.
count that.
The film
Yeah,
is
I
a
would
little
count this.
spooky.
Yeah, I know.
I would
beginning.
too.
Did it just come out at Christmas, or did it have like Christmas timing in the movie as well?
I think it did come out at Christmas. It came out released.
Okay. Does the movie take place in like the Christmas time, or is it like winter New York?
It tracks a full year of him at the museum, so there is some snow. There is a part where there's snow. But I think all of these films were released at Christmas because I remember seeing at least one of them like literally the day after Christmas. So I think they, because these were the big family films.
Right.
And I am so excited. And I thought to myself for the split second when this came up, I thought, well, of course, eventually, because we're running out of films, we're going to hit the ones we talk about because we only have 301 left. By the way, the one of the characters you don't see in the trailer, who's really important to all 3 films, is played by Rami Malek.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He is. Yeah.
And the dad, who I think
approval there.
I think the dad is not in the dad is in the second and the third one. Is Sir Ben Kingsley. We've got Sir Ben Kingsley. I think he's only in the sequel though, or he might be in it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So
you know what? I've not watched this movie in such a long time. I can't remember it.
You can watch it with the boy.
I love that.
Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I just so I've not watched it in a long time, so I'm actually glad. It's a things, but literally, it sounds like we've got Hammer horror movies coming on. Brotherhood of the Wolf and Night at the Museum.
It does actually.
I'm waiting for Christopher Lee or something
or Vincent Price. Yeah, to pop up.
Exactly. It does. It feels like we've got one of those kind of movies that are like they're just horror movies. Don't really like they're B movies. And that's it. But so there we go. That's it. So it has actually been. It will be Jamie Sandy.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy.
Is it? I'm guessing it's not a book.
I don't think so.
Is it?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, if it is, it will be a short story book. Or
I can't imagine that's like a.
It can't be a full. It has to be like a children's book.
I mean, it's.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
it is based on the children's book of 1993. Let's make sure it was made.
There we go.
Yep. 1993. The story is about museum. The whole idea, and the catchphrase is history comes alive. And that's all me. I love that. That's me. Like Night at the Museum.
Jay, do you think we've got a geek out coming on?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to tell you, like, if you were to describe me in film, it would be Raiders of the Lost Ark, Night at the Museum, National Treasure. Like that whole adventure, putting puzzles together, finding things, preserving
with history and right.
Fair enough. That's it. Indiana
and Tomb Raider. Come on.
No, I don't get into the Tomb Raider, but no, I just this is where history comes to life. I love the entire concept, and it's kind of like when you when you get to the point where you realize that the TARDIS in Doctor Who is an allegory for a library, right? Because in the real Doctor Who, in the old Doctor Who, when the Doctor walks into that TARDIS, he can go anywhere in time and space. And when you walk into a library, you can go in anywhere in time and space. And there was a point in time when at my home library, the door was painted to look like the TARDIS. And I didn't even know what Doctor Who was back then. So I was going through this blue door and it said police box. And who knew? I don't know. I live in Baltimore. Everything, police. I go through the door. I come out, go through. And it was only later when I started watching Doctor Who on PBS that it clicked. It's like, oh, he can go anywhere in time and space. And okay, I can go anywhere when I go into a library. And then with Night at the Museum, it's the whole thing. It's like, whether it was real or not, whether it was in someone's imagination or not, these characters, these people, these statues, at one time they were alive. And when you get to the point where you realize you're not just going to a museum to see dead things or pictures of things, when you realize these things really happened, that's when it clicks for you. So anyway, so we'll talk a lot more about this in 2 weeks. I'm so excited.
There we go. We got good ones, haven't we? I think the Will realized we had a very, Jay's needs to watch it, a very hard, impactful one with Casualties of War, and we needed that moment of fun and fantasy. So we've had fun, a little bit of a nice caper. We get a little bit of fantasy horror, but still fun, and then we get pure comedy, fun, kind of next. So there we go. So I think this is got to be only our third comedy. I'm guessing you would call it a comedy.
Yeah, I would call it a comedy, right?
Yeah, a second or third comedy. It's got to be. There's not many on the list. We've had.
I mean, this Wedding Crashers.
You got probably Bug's Life. You got a class.
Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Qualify.
Yeah, so we've not had many on there.
Technically, Dr. Strangelove, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose it's black humor, isn't it? Sure. Yeah, I suppose you want to call it things like that. But we've not had. There's a lot on the comedy side we've got on there. That's things, and we've still not had a Western. Damn it!
Yeah,
no, we have
not. We still haven't. That's a good point.
No,
we have not had a Western. But
that is a good couple of. I have to say it because my next one I do enjoy. So. Two good picks. Good picks. The Will did well. Except for having next time it'll be Sandy's Titanic pick. No. Like, oh my.
You came up with the categories, mister.
I know, because it's funny and it's terrible. I picked Twilight. Twilight.
Do we have horror picks? Like our individual horror picks as an option? Oh, that'd be nice if we got one of those in this month.
Oh no, I actually started doing what you said, Jay, last time is
start putting some. I got to actually get back to it so I can have some kind of ready to go answers when the times come.
Yeah, I've got a few, and I was like, then I was like, do I want that because it's on the Will? Do I not have that? And I have that. But it's not on the Will.
My rule has been trying to do ones not on the Wheel, just because in theory, eventually the Wheel will, make all those come up. Assuming we all live long enough to make it to the end of this wheel at the rate we're going.
I want B movie. I want B movies.
I do too.
Really want to see what you two.
I try to go for something off the wheel.
I do too. But you know what? The wheel. I feel like it will get a little more manageable because year after year, if we do this for 10, 20, 30 more years, there just aren't enough. There definitely aren't 50 good films per year to put on. There might be, and we'll have to do this closer to the end of the year. There might be no film from this year that we put on. Now, we did do a Superman review and a Downton review.
But we also did I put on a 2020 and above, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was on there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to think hard on. That's one I'll have to think really hard on.
I've actually been coming up with a few ideas for those. I think that one's going to be a little easier for me than I thought it would be at first. So I'm actually I'm excited for the day that one comes up.
All right, to answer Daryl's question, we've got a fistful of dollars, of course. I think I've got we've got The Unforgiven. The Unforgiven. Not The Unforgiven, it's just Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood's one. I'm trying to think. We got any others? We only got the two.
We don't have The Magnificent Seven.
And I'm gonna have some look.
I was never a big Western person, so I don't think I had any on there. I'm trying to think if I added something.
I didn't put all the spaghetti westerns on, like the Man with No Name, I must say.
Well, we need the Magnificent Seven for real.
The old one, not the remake.
Correct.
Yeah, fair
I know
enough.
for a few dollars more is on there as well. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they all are. Yeah, so the Man with No Name is all on there. So that is for a few dollars more. Fistful of Dollars and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and yeah, Unforgiven.
Cool.
And I don't think that is. I think that.
The Magnificent Seven is on now because it needs to be.
Okay, there you go.
How did we miss
I'm
that?
guessing you could class A Country Old Men slightly away.
What about Tombstone?
Tombstone?
How do we? Oh, it's on there. We have Tombstone on
Is
there.
it a Tombstone? Tombstone's on there. Once Upon a Time in the West is on there. There we go.
Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
Power
Outlaw
Rider.
Josie Wales.
And Power Rider's on there. So we got to be open. So we got like
There we
6. So a lot of Clint Eastwoods.
We have a lot of war movies on here. We have a ton of war movies.
Oh, that's my fault.
So real quick, guys, on this note, I do have to jump because I got to go catch bedtime for the little one.
That's fine. Okay, there we go. Jay,
so I'll just do a quick goodbye, then I got to jump. But chat, as always, thanks for being here, guys. This was a lot of fun. I look forward to next week. And in terms of anything for my channel, just keep your eyes open. Bit of a busy week or so for me the past kind of week and a half. So be resuming normal programming most likely this week. So
been catching some shorts from you. I've seen those posts.
Yep, gonna try to keep doing some more of those as just some kind of filler stuff until I can get to more videos and hopefully some streams again and all that. So yeah, just keep an eye out for the Nerd Takes channel. And as always, this is a lot of fun, guys, and I can't wait to do it next week.
All the best to you, Jay.
Likewise, guys. Take care.
Have a good one. Have a good one. Let's go. We can talk about him in a minute.
Now he's gone. Why doesn't he watch good movies? I don't know.
I thought that one.
Jay, I love your picks, Jay.
I thought that would have been one he would have watched. Okay, let me get what you.
I thought that would like be right in his. Maybe he was just a little too old. Maybe just.
I don't know. Was it 2006?
So he's in his. Is he 20 yet?
I don't know. Is it what now?
No. I know, right? Seriously.
Sorry, Jay. But yeah. But also, I saw your private message, so that we've done that. So, guys, Sandy, what you got going on?
Just my usual. I will be out, probably out and about tomorrow. We have had just fantastic weather, so thanks to everybody who joins me on my little journeys. It's been so much fun to get out and about, because winter is coming, and the hiking will change definitely when the weather changes. So I still have right now about 3,000 hours of video to actually edit into real videos. So I do need some bad weather to force me to edit. James, what do you got going on?
I'm going to be busy-ish next week. I'm going to hope. I really want to do Red Dead again. Red Dead 2. Sorry. So might do that again.
That's a good one to watch.
Yeah, again. So I might when you're like, I really want to do it, and
it's a good game.
But I've done it so many times. I did it on the Xbox, so I'm going to get it on the PC. But I like going off, just doing my own thing. So I might do that and not do the story. I like when they have to you have to do the hunting of the animals, kind of like that, because I think it's kind of cool when you come across a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I might do that. We'll give it a go. We might do. Otherwise, from that, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I might do got a couple of horror ones, like the last one I did, the Light Keeper. Everybody go and watch it. There's 3 endings to it. It's very, very weird. I do like, was it Phobia games? What they're doing at the moment is great. The environment to that movie,
graphics, yeah,
the environment felt great. Good. Yeah, so yeah, everybody, I highly recommend. They're doing it cheap. They're like independent game developers, so yeah, it's give it a go. I say, like them ones, keep the little people alive if they do good, and they have so far. But otherwise, from that, we're gonna see you definitely next week for one of my picks. Brotherhood of Wolves. So that's going to be good. Now, we're going to send you, for the first time ever, we're gonna go and raid somebody. And who are we raiding, Sandy?
We're gonna raid the heretical nerd, our friend Pete. So Pete, here we come.
And and he's playing Warhammer, is it?
He's playing Warhammer. He's Warhammering.
Yeah, so that's it. But everybody, have a great one. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll catch you in the next stream. Go and say hi. Give him some canaries or something, or whatever you want to do. Or say the film club raided. It's up to you what you do. But say hello and give them a like, whatever you do. Have a great one. Hammer time. There we go.
Hammer
Bye
time.
for now.
Love that.